Mm. All right. Yeah, I didn't. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyways, let's see here. Yeah, I didn't. We hope. We try to get people to sub our backup channels because this stuff happens all the time, of course. And I won't be able to go live or do anything with Jeff Censored now for 2 weeks because they hit me with hate speech. Hate speech. Anybody there catch anything that I said that was hateful? I'm just. I don't know. I don't know. I guess you can't say anything anymore. I guess that's the point I was making was that you can't say anything anymore. That they're destroying freedom of speech. Like they are destroying freedom of speech. That's absolutely what's happening. And you just witnessed it. And it'll get worse. It's ironic too because they're talking about Mike Milbury and how silly it is, right? It's silly stuff. In the old days, people would say that all the time. Like, I used to listen to hockey broadcasts, and it'd be like, it'd be the old curmudgeon type players or guys, with their whatever their idiosyncrasies or their faults are, Maybe they think it's a man sport, and it should just be men sort of thing, and whatever. But I mean, that was when we had freedom and people could say things without fear of losing their jobs and their channels and their livelihood and being plastered all over the media and being destroyed. Now we live in tyranny, like absolute tyranny. So I guess we're seeing the whole tyranny thing just completely unfold. And yeah, it is what it is. There's no accident that this stuff is happening. It's all part of how they are stopping us from showing what they're doing. Maybe they're mad because I'm exposing the paradigm. I don't know, right? I mean, it is what it is. It's I guess I'm just gonna have to switch platforms. I'm probably just gonna go over to D Live and start doing stuff there. The only problem with D Live is it doesn't keep your vids up, sort of thing. So you do a whole live show. I think it's there for a day or two. I'm not sure, unless you have enough followers. Or I don't even know how it works. My friend explained it to me. And he's saying, well, you got these things that people can give you. They're like lemons and ice creams and ninja things. I don't even know. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, what is this stuff? Is this for children? But if they allow you to do live shows, then that might be the only thing I can do moving forward. with this type. I mean, maybe now that the whole it's probably dealing with the democratic thing there. The 5-pointed star, the pentagram there that I was showing is probably what got the video flagged. But then again, it's like I say things, I'd think I'd say things a lot more controversial all the time, sort of thing. But I guess it depends who's watching and what they're up to, because they're obviously watching, right? So, and yeah, we'll try to work something out. It is what it is, right? It's going to be tough because now I won't be able to communicate with any of my subs. Only people that are on Patreon and Twitter and, that are sub to these channels, my backup channels, are going to know. Everyone else is going to be like, where's Jeff C? That's the problem, eh? It would be nice if, like, when somebody clicked on and subbed your channel, they would automatically sub your other channels. But that's not the way it goes. It's unfortunate too, because I had so many things to discuss. I had some very interesting things that I wanted to get into, and I was just getting warmed up, sort of thing. And it goes to show you too, when I was showing this Donovan Bennett tweet here, heteronormative, sexist, factually incorrect, and a terrible take. So, even if it was, who cares? I want to live in a world where you can be that way. Heteronormative too. I mean, what does that mean? Does anybody know what that means? Heteronormative. Like, that's what I was going to do. I was going to search it and see what came up. I guess I know what it means. Heteronormative. We're going to ask Google here. See if we can find out here. Whoops. Back there for a second. I know I don't have the screen sharing. So heteronormatives is denoting or relating to a world that promotes heterosexuality as the normal or preferred sexual orientation. Well, I mean, newsflash, right? I mean, newsflash. It is. Newsflash. You're all here because of heteronormative. The person, unless it's an AI program that wrote this. Let's see if I can share my screen here. And I don't know if there's any way for people to let folks know that I'm here. It's so bad. They always hit you when you don't expect it, sort of thing. It's just like all of a sudden, yeah, we got to take out Jeff C now. And it's interesting because I was talking about Leafy being terminated. Maybe I'll be next. I don't know. But here is the heteronormative thing. So, denoting or relating to a world view that promotes heterosexuality as a normal or preferred sexual orientation. It's like insanity. It's like denoting or referring to a world that, has mostly a blue sky. It's like, okay. What are you going to say, right? It's so silly at this point in time. It's okay that you be these other things, but obviously being heterosexual is normal. Now, we know it's all about depopulation. It's all about eugenics and transhumanism and completely redefining sexuality, but heteronormativity, I mean, to like call somebody a heteronormative or I mean, it's just dumb. It's insane. But it's the same as vulnerability as strength. It's the same type of doublespeak. It's what it is. It's doublespeak. It's like, what? But I thought being a heterosexual was normal. No, the behavior. If you believe or you have an ideology that being heterosexual is normative, then you are a heteronormative. Okay, I'm a heteronormative then. Well, now you're under arrest. Or you're terminated or whatever. Look at the images here. Heteronormativity and monogamy fall in the same category because they're both outdated notions that have a parasitic relationship with each other and are predicated on Western gender binary classifications. I mean, like, what? Monogamy? What? Like, what's wrong with monogamy? Of course, we know what's wrong with monogamy. But how strange is that to, like, suggest that, you know, they're parasitic? I mean, like, what? I mean, these people are just... It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what's going on. It's so insane. I want this ride to stop. This heteronormativity blows. Wow. We'll find out in a second if they shut this one down. It's just insane, isn't it? I mean, it's so crazy. It's like, what? What? Heteronormativity? Anyway, I'm going to check if I'm coming in here. Seems like I am. Okay, good. Wow. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with this? This is what they do, though. This is the problem. Like, it's a big problem that we have. It's a gargantuan problem. I mean, I suppose if you were to go back decades, you'd see it all, and well, you do see it all unfold, but you just have to, like, pinch yourself and say, yeah, this is 2020. In 2020, being heterosexual is a bad thing. Being normal is a bad thing. Being monogamous is terrible. It's parasitical. Right? It's parasitical to be monogamous. Like, you think of all the things that would be good in life, right? Like, really? One of the most important things, even if you're gay or lesbian or whatever you are, you're dating furniture, I don't care, right? If you're monogamous, that means you're faithful, you know? It's like, how can that be a bad thing, right? Like, monogamy. It's just, it's out of this world how evil this is. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And look at what they do with the brain here, too. It's like, this is your brain if you're heteronormative, and this is your brain if you're LGBT because of XYZ. It's just wow. It's just out of this world. Oh Lord, what are they doing? Why are they? It's the Blaze. The Blaze is happening. Disney makes history with first bisexual lead character for a children's animated show. Now you know, right? Now that quote over here makes a lot of sense. Change hockey culture. Change hockey culture. You know, yeah, we should change it. We should go back to Slapshot. That's what hockey culture should be. The bunch of sweaty jocks with vulgar language and bad manners and like frickin' 70s style collars and hairdos and mustaches. That's what hockey was hockey. That's what a man was a man. Now, you got to be inclusive. So I just clicked on change hockey culture. And the first person that comes up is Isaac Iosovich here. If you listen close, you'll hear me sounding out my last name while I write it. Mm-hmm. And he's a marketing guy, not a professional prospect for the Devils, the New Jersey Devils. Wow. Who would have thunk it? I guess you're not a hockey player. I don't know. We are one. Whoa, it's pretty crazy. It's time to give up on your professional sports, folks. You know that, eh? And then there's the statement from the National Hockey League. The National Hockey League condemns the insensitive and insulting comments that Mike Milbury made during last night's broadcast, and we have communicated our feelings to NBC. The comment did not reflect the NHL's... Why should the comment reflect your values? Like, seriously. Why can't somebody have an opinion, even if it's offensive? It's just an opinion, YouTube community. It's just an opinion. That's all it is. Who cares? So he made a comment. What did he say? They don't have women around to distract them. What is so offensive about that? It's just factual, right? Young guys like getting laid. Newsflash. Newsflash. I'll tell you what. You go to some of the more better known nightclubs in on Crescent Street, say for instance, in Montreal. After a hockey game's been played, NHL hockey game, you'll see a bunch of hockey players there, guaranteed. They're not there for the buffet. Unless you're saying it's the female buffet, then they're there for that for sure. So anyways, I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said. Maybe I wouldn't have said it, but, like, who cares, right? I mean, it's like, big deal. So what? He said something that some people don't like, but now, here is the...
It's a terrific environment with regards to if you enjoy playing and enjoy being with your teammates for long periods of time, it's a perfect place. Not even any woman here to disrupt their concentration. Not even any woman...
I don't know if you probably can't hear that. Trying to get my microphone closer.
Not even any woman here to disrupt their concentration.
How could that be offensive? How can that be offensive? How is it offensive? What? He just said there's not even any women here to distract you. I mean, like, who cares? He's making a point. Who cares? You don't have to agree with it. Oh my God. Here's my comment here. You guys haven't completely destroyed free speech yet, but you're working overtime at it. This is it. Awesome. I just want to say awesome comment, Mike. I agree. Now I'll be suspended from Twitter. Of course. Because that's the way it is, folks. That's the way it is. That's why I brought up that. Isn't that ironic that I get pulled talking about hockey of all things? I guess that's what I got pulled. Right? I mean, I don't know when I got pulled. I just noticed all of a sudden there's nobody in the chat. I like talking to myself. That's happened too many times before, folks. There was one time I did a podcast. I must have gone on for like an hour and a half without realizing they'd shut it down. I was on fire too. I was like full of energy. I was like, yeah, this is great. And then all of a sudden, wah, wah, wah. What are you going to do? Anyway, what are you going to do? I mean, seriously, I don't think what he said was hateful towards women. It's just a fact that men get distracted by women. I mean, like, is that controversial to say that young men get distracted by women? I mean, that's one of the reasons why they have boys' schools and girls' schools, right? I mean, seriously. Anyways, Allison here, who is no complaining and is covering the Columbus Blue Jackets. Do you think Allison ever played in the NHL? Probably not, right? Think Allison ever played hockey in the league? Why is Allison covering hockey? It's just a good question. If hockey's still going in 5 years, you'll be really hard pressed to see any men covering anything. Certainly not white men. You don't see any white men. But I'm serious. That's where it's gone. But that's racist. That's racist. White people bad. White people bad. Right, YouTube community? White people bad. Maybe be ironic if I was... it's stupid. Anyways, these people get me so angry. So let's get away from that. Joe Biden. Biden reveals his general election weapon, basic human... wouldn't you like him breathing down your daughter's neck? I'm sure he refers to that as being kind. Kindness. Yes, these people are reptilian, but this is just an actor. He's a lower rung. He's just an actor playing his role. Does empathy swing? I mean, this is Rainbow Unicorn Land, and it might as well be CNN, right? It's like, and people up in Rainbow Unicorn Land point this out all the time, like that the CBC, all the beast media here, just all they ever do is just like, it's politically incorrect not to bash Trump. Like, legitimately, if somebody came out and was somehow connected politically to something, or was part of some sort of, I don't know, known entity within the media or whatnot, and they said anything like remotely supportive of Trump, that would be it. So, yeah. Can you say New World Order agendas? And yeah, this is just how they do it. Putting the creepiest guys in front of you. Then we got the Golden State president apologizes to Raptors Ujiri over altercation in the 2019 finals. Ironically, do you see a pattern? Rickard Welts heartbroken after video shows Toronto exec wasn't the aggressor. So they have this whole scandal breaking loose at the same time to throw another log on the flaming fire of BLM, in which they're saying here that the Toronto Raptors, I don't know if he's a general manager, was accosted by a security in the NBA Finals last year. The president. He's the president. And so, again, the message here, white people bad. Okay? White people bad. YouTube community, I'm doing the best I can to just help you guys out. The best that I can. White people bad. More bad white people here. Lori Loughlin has been sentenced in college admissions bribery scheme. Well, she just looks just devastated by this. I mean, she honestly, look at her. You could just tell. Imagine, she must be feeling tremendous amounts of guilt. I mean, it's not even duping delight at this point in time. Like, she just looks like she's tickled pink. It's like, I couldn't be happier. So, yeah, actor Laura Loughlin, you better wake your ass up, and husband, clothing designer Mosemi Gianulu, depart federal court in Boston. This is in 2019. So it's Full House? Is that one of those shows, by the way? I'm wondering if that was one of those shows that... Never watched it. Is that one of those shows where there's like 3 men and little babies and stuff around? Yeah. Can somebody fill me in? Is that the plot? Full House? Let me say Full House. Put that in. Full House here. Full House. It's a sitcom. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I wonder who made this one. Yeah. We are family. Oh, my homo. Can't say that. Anyways, yeah, was that the one with those creepy... Oh my god, look at these creatures, man. They look ghoulish now. These are the Olsen twins. We sure like the twins these days. Anyways, Full House. My word. My word. 3 men and a bunch of babies. A bunch of girl babies. What could go wrong? Alright, so, yeah, you just see this total garbage. Bullcrap story, but it's the #1 story on the CBC. Here's the pandemic could be over within 2 years. Oh, thank you. 2 years. Oh, wow. Could be over within 2 years. Could be. Could be. Remember, that's a could. And then they'll be saying next year could be over in 5 years. And they said, then they'll be saying pandemic could be over by 2030. if everybody, gets their testicles removed. I don't know. I try to have some fun on Fridays here, but could you imagine? Tedros, the talking turd here. Coronavirus pandemic could be over within 2 years. Who head? He's a who head. The head of the World Health Organization says he hopes the coronavirus pandemic will be over in under 2 years. Speaking in Geneva on Friday, Tedros, the talking turd, said that the Spanish flu took 2 years to overcome, but he added that the current advances in technology could enable the world to halt the virus in a shorter time. Well, why? Why bother? I mean, if it took 2 years for them, then let's just do it the way they did it. Did they have contact tracing? Did they have quantum dot tattoos? Did they have forced vaccinations? I'm just curious. No, they didn't have any of that. So why not just let your virus play out, right? Do it old style. But no, instead, you know what? We're going to just change everything. We're going to implement a prison state, a prison planet. And you're all going to be quarantined, and you're all going to be vaccinated. You're all going to be forced to carry your papers. Where are your papers? You're all going to be forced to do all these things. But at the same time, we also have the technology to stop it and the knowledge to stop it, he noted, stressing the importance of national unity and global solidarity. One world, folks. The deadly flu of 1918 killed at least 50 million people. The coronavirus so far has killed 800,000 people, infected 227 million more, or so they say. So Tedros will also respond to the question about corruption relating to the personal protection, the PPE, during the pandemic, which he described as criminal. Any type of corruption is unacceptable. And then they have somebody here, arrest COVID millionaires. Oh, we're so effed. Oh, man. Anyways, let's move on. CNN, there's the twins, by the way. The twin storms that are coming. They talked about. Former Green Beret allegedly gave secrets to Russia. Former Loch Ness Monster allegedly gave secrets to Bigfoot. The one-time Army soldier had top secret clearance and provided details. I bet you it's Barbara Starr. Pentagon officials say. How much you want to bet it's Barbara Starr? Come on, Barbara. Let's get it on, Barbara. She's second. Guys, you back off. She's all mine. Barbara Starr's one hell of an attractive woman, man. All right, what's going on? There's no video. What? This is CNN? Are you kidding? No video? You expect people to read on CNN? Are you serious? 2020, you're expecting people to read? Anyways, it's silly stuff. Let's move on. Anything else here that I wanted to... CDC urges updates guidelines for reopening school. Welcome back to school. Welcome back to prison. Get used to fences, cages, barbed wire, and sealed classrooms and... right, bolted doors and scanners, body scanners, and right, portals that you got to walk through, and detectors, and squeak, 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 squeak. Got to put that squeaky stuff. Got to put that chemicals all over your hands, all over your body, all over your face. You got to, yeah, wow. CDC up there. Hey, that's all right. Yeah, get your vaccine. Jeez, what do you think they're trying to tell you? So why do they show you this? Like, what? What's going on here? Like, why are they showing somebody getting a needle? It's like, I thought this was about school. But it is. It's the future of your kids' schools. This is how it's going to roll, folks. This is how it's going to roll. That is just diabolical. Maybe we'll see Barbara Starr. I'm disappointed. I was really looking forward to...
As college students head back to campus, coronavirus outbreaks at universities in at least 19 states, leading to concerns about scenes like this. A large gathering of students at Penn State that prompted the school's president to ask those flouting the rules, do you want to be the person responsible for sending everyone home? Mississippi's governor urging college students to be careful, since 18 to 29-year-olds make up the highest proportion of cases there.
We know that we've got a lot of work to do there. It's something that we will have to be constantly working on over the course of the next few weeks.
I don't know though. Those sign guys, I think they're throwing extra things in. I think they are. I want to just know what they're saying. I want to see what they're saying, because maybe they're telling the truth. Vaccines. Bill Gates wants to depopulate the world. Imagine you're the deaf people and you're the only people that are allowed that can send these secret messages, because most people don't know sign language. That would be great though if you knew sign language and they hired you and you got up there and you could give all the deaf people, you could say, yeah, Bill Gates wants to depopulate the entire planet. They're trying to
COVID-19 averaging more than 1,000 a day for 25 consecutive days. The CDC is now projecting nearly 195,000 COVID deaths by September 12th, about 3 weeks away, suggesting that staggering death rate will continue, at least in the short term.
We are beginning, I think, to turn
here
the
he
tide.
is.
Still, CDC Director Dr.
That guy,
Robert
Dr. Redfield. Dr. Robert Redfield. We could just call him Dr. Robert Redshield. Yeah, he's the Rothschild. Oh.
who estimates as many as 60 million people nationwide may have already contracted the virus, based on an infection rate of 10 to 20%, says we could soon see the number of new daily deaths begin to decline as more people follow public health guidelines.
I like this one. I see it's walking.
Hand washing and social distancing.
Hopefully this week
yeah.
and next week you're going to start seeing the death rate really start to drop again.
New cases are steady or falling in 40 states, but Redfield warned that positive trend isn't taking hold everywhere.
We don't need to have a third wave in the heartland.
Coronavirus cases are on the rise in states like Wyoming, Iowa, and Illinois, with a new Emory University study suggesting so-called super spreader events are driving transmission in rural
Super
areas.
spreader.
Meanwhile, on the vaccine front,
no country can just ride this out until we have a vaccine.
a new sobering reminder from the head of the World Health
Organization. Why should we have any rights whatsoever? He just told us no country can have any individuality or any control until we all have a vaccine. So no country has a right to be free until you get the Bill Gates vaccine. That's all. It's that simple. Unbelievable, folks. The greatest tyranny in the history of humanity. We're all witnessing it. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've never seen such utter tyranny.
The 1918 pandemic lasted 2 years. He hopes this one won't.
And even if we do have a vaccine, it wouldn't end the pandemic on its own.
Pfizer says the vaccine it is developing with German firm BioNTech is on track to seek regulatory review as early as October. And Johnson & Johnson plans to include up to 60,000 people
Awesome.
in phase 3 trials.
Woo-hoo!
Progress does not mean victory.
There you go. Progress does not mean it's never going to end. That's all they're telling you. She may lose her hands because of coronavirus. I'm sorry.
And a note before we bring you this report on 360
Oh,
in case
man.
some images may be disturbing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want you to see.
Just please.
Rosa, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
This is the only way we
This
can
is
see
the
Rosa
only
Felipe.
way.
The 41-year-old
Oh,
mother of
man.
2 young boys has been hospitalized at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami since early March after testing positive for COVID-19. She's fighting to survive inside the
I can't even do this because you know what? I'm just going to start laughing and they're just going to shut me down. This is where we were before with the Disney makes history with the first bisexual lead character for a children's animated show. I feel like I'm reading out the awards. The Academy Awards. That's the Academy Awards for 2023. Now, best lead... Best lead in a bisexual lead character for children's animated TV show goes to... Right? if you still have toys or DVDs or anything for Disney, you might want to clear that stuff out right now. Because Disney is the beast. And the beast is coming for your kids. And the only way to protect your kids from the beast is to stop them from consuming the beast. Otherwise, they'll become the beast. So do something about it. And it's called the Owl House, of course. The Owl House, the Disney Channel animated show for kids, has reportedly made history by pushing a bisexual character in as the show's lead. So Luz Noceda, the show's 14-year-old protagonist, is a normal teen who goes on a journey to another world to become a witch. Disney, 2020. The main character goes on a journey to another world to become a witch. It's called the Owl House. Get it? Luz has shown she's attracted to male characters in the show, and in 2 most recent episodes, Enchanting Grom Fight and Wings Like Witches, a relationship between Luz and a reoccurring female character, Amity. Amity? What? The Amityville Horror? How about Amity in Jaws, which is the town, the island there? It's called Amity. Isn't that interesting? It revealed that Amity? We'll say Amity. Okay, Amity had intentions to ask Luz to Grom. Grom. Their world's version of a prom. A grotesque prom? Yeah, that's it. Good answer. That's it. Survey says, is it a Grom? Grom. It's like Grom. Grom. I pray to Grom. Their world's version of a prom, and the two share a dance together. Mm-hmm. And this is the creator here. It's Dana Terrace, the show's creator, who is bisexual herself, confirmed last week that Luca Noceda is in fact bisexual. All your media is just evil. That's all. It's that simple. It's all evil. It's that simple. All you got to realize, oh yeah, it's media, it's bad. There you go. Anyways, let's move on from that. Paris Hilton cries over childhood trauma in documentary trailer. Nobody really knows who I am. I don't really care. I don't care what you've been through. I don't give a damn about you. I don't give an effing flying shit about you. I don't want to hear 1 second about you. I never want to hear about you ever again. That's all. So that's all we're going to say about it. Leafy. I mentioned Leafy got taken down. So here is somebody commenting, Leafy's YouTube account has been terminated due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube policy promoting content designed to harass, bully, or threaten. Hey, he got the Jeff C. You got the Jeff C treatment, man. How you feeling, Leafy? I don't think he probably cares. He's probably got some other deals going, and his flock of followers will just go wherever he goes, sort of thing. So I don't know if he'll go on Twitchy or whatever. I mean, there's really no point to someone like Leafy. He's just there. I mean, I'm not saying that people like this shouldn't exist on YouTube. I don't have a problem with Leafy, right? I still remember the video he did on TMF. That was pretty hilarious. But you know, it is what it is. They're setting the example. So they're saying you can't make fun of people. You can't, you know, you can't have a YouTube channel that makes fun of other YouTubers or, you know, exposes other YouTubers or whatever, right? So that's how they do it. Anyways, Leafy lost his channel. And this is just the latest dealing with this. Leafy is here off of YouTube. I guess he's been banned. Leafy got terminated. You see all this here. Anyways, let's move on from that. Yeah, so we're talking about the twin-demic here. TMF covered this. And as I stated with the twins here, we've got the the flu and the scamdemic that they've got going. And you see all the articles. Flu season could pose twindemic for 2020. Expert warns of possible twindemic. Is twindemic of COVID-19 a flu coming this fall? Is a twindemic of COVID-19, right? New York Times, USA News, Health.com, CBS, Gothamist. What is twindemic? 2 days ago.
Many of us knew the word epidemic, but after many months now, we're all too familiar with the word pandemic. Now, a new word is coming our way that health experts are warning about. It's what they're calling a twindemic. And our 9 health experts.
I know it's 9 news, but I do find it kind of interesting. He's got the 9. I mean, most anchors don't wear their kind of logo on their thing, right? It's kind of silly. But he's got the 9 here, and there's the 11 right there. So, just saying, folks. They like to do that stuff. So,
expert Dr. Paul Coley joins us to tell us more about what that is. So, let's get right to it. What is a twindemic, and why is this so concerning?
So, Tom, a twindemic is exactly how it sounds. It's essentially the confluence of 2 different infectious disease outbreaks occurring at the same time. And in this case, we're talking about
She's got the Ebola green thing on. Is that going to be the color going forward? Are you guys going to pull this out again? It's just typical of how it works. I don't know what she's got here. Are these pillows? Like, who would get pillows like this with these stringy things on them? They're like, hey, honey, get those centipede pillows over here. I like the centipede pillows with all the stringy things on them. I guess she feels more comfortable being between the 2 pillows. Maybe she feels like it's a safe space. She's thinking, if I wear the green shirt here, the green dress or whatever she's got on with these 2 stringy pillows, I'll be safer, and I'll put my whole medical knowledge here in the background. The books I got from Book of the Month Club here or whatever. A Life in Medicine. Heart disease. 9 health. Oh, wonderful.
Influenza and the COVID-19. So back in March, when we first had really pick up of virus activity with COVID-19, the flu season was on its way out, so things were starting to quiet down. But now, as we head into fall and winter, we know that the flu season is going to start to pick up with a peak in December and January. And at the same time, we also know that COVID-19 activity is going to start to pick up as the weather gets colder, because the virus survives longer in the atmosphere when it's colder.
I noticed she's got like buttons here and on this side. So I'm like, while I'm listening, I'm not even listening to her. It's just, I don't even care what she's saying. It's all bull crap anyways. I'm looking at her shirt. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, all right, like, how does she put that on, right? Is like, I guess you gotta you unbutton the sleeves. How does that shirt go on? I don't know. Trying to figure it out. Would she get upset if, like, you came beside her and you started unbuttoning this part? Oh, you wouldn't want to look inside anyways, but...
And because people are more likely to be congregating indoors rather than outdoors, as we've been doing over the summer. So the twindemic is really the concern for the perfect storm of the 2 outbreaks occurring together, and not just causing a lot of morbidity and mortality, but also overwhelming the healthcare system again.
I want to ask you more, but is twindemic a new word? Did we just make this up, or have we experienced or used the term twindemic in the past?
She likes that. She likes that. Oh, is it a new term? Well, George Floyd, actually. He had a twin, and he got murdered in the Twin Cities. Yeah, and it was in the month of Gemini. And, yeah, we had all this other twin stuff going on at the same time, so...
As far as I know, I think it's made up, so it's specially coined for what we're going through. But it's coined, I think, based on the Latin for where the pandemic comes from. So
now, what about because we're talking about
it's coined on the Latin.
Flu and flu shots, and there's always this hit and miss aspect of flu shots. There's also some people who get their shots early, some people who don't get them, some people who get them late. There's going to be a lot more emphasis on the flu shot this year, and certainly a lot more pressure on the flu shot to be the right shot.
Yeah, Gotta get that flu
Absolutely
shot.
right, Tom. And the biggest thing this year with the flu season is that it's going to be unpredictable. So on the one hand, because we're wearing masks and washing our hands and socially distancing, that is, of course, going to decrease the transmission of the flu. But on the other hand, we don't know how virulent the flu is going to be this year. To your point, we don't know whether the vaccine will correctly
Hey,
predict.
look at this. 3 reasons to get a flu shot. Selfish. Selfish. Snitches get rewards. Selfish. So that's the first number one reason. Selfish. Want to stay out of the hospital during COVID? I thought we were all trying to save everyone's. I'm staying home because I want to save my grandfather. I'm staying inside playing video games because I'm going to save my neighbors. You know, I'm staying inside because I want to save my aunt. You know, all these commercials. You should see what they're doing in Quebec here. Oh my God. Because I had the radio hockey game when I was preparing the show in the background there. And I was listening to I had the audio in the background. And the commercials that would come on the radio break were hilarious. They have these terrible hip-hop commercials trying to get people to stay inside and save lives and stuff. And they were done. There's really crappy hip-hop. But like at the same time, you're thinking hockey, right? If you think hockey is like white sport, rock and roll maybe and stuff like that. But you got hip hop commercials with like teenagers doing really bad hip hop sort of thing, trying to give you the mind control. The government does this incessantly. I mean, I'm sure it's everywhere, right? All the governments are doing the same thing because they're all part of this globalist coup. But they're all putting this horrible sort of propaganda out 24/7. Selfless, want to prevent hospitals from being overwhelmed. Scientific, vaccinations boost immune system. Okay, because you wrote it there? Is that what is? Am I supposed to believe that because you wrote that? I guess so.
The protection that we need to offer. And then finally, we also don't know how many people will go get the vaccine because they're worried about COVID-19 concerns. So I want to give 3 S reasons for why every single person should get the flu vaccine this year, even if they haven't gotten it in years past. So the first S is
Oh, just shut up. Shut up.
protected early.
So that is coming up. All right. Also coming up Thursday night, we're having a special, a town hall, a 9 News town hall, talking about getting people back to school and back to school.
All right, screw this. Seth Rogen tells BC's young people to smoke weed and watch movies instead of party. Joins fellow Vancouver native Ryan Reynolds in issuing COVID-19 warning. Again, nobody should ever listen to any actor ever again. You should never listen to an actor about anything other than acting. That's the only thing you would go to listen to an actor about. Can you tell me about acting? That's the only thing that they could ever give you that would be worthwhile. You never listen to an actor about anything. In fact, if an actor tells you something, do the absolute opposite, because that's guaranteed that they're shilling. So Seth Rogen here, I guess this is him here on the left here. My word. You're like, this guy's like some celebrity? How does that happen? You know, like seriously. I guess Ryan Reynolds, you can say, okay, well, you know, he has that movie star look to him. But this guy, this guy on the left here, I mean, seriously. How does that happen? How do you become a movie star? I wonder about Adam Sandler. I think that's the most phenomenal, most astonishing career in the history of the world. You make the worst movies ever. You're the most unfunny person that's ever existed, and somehow you still get to make movies all the time. You make the most awful movies in the history of the world, and yet somehow you still get millions and millions of dollars to make more of these awful movies. Just really blows me away how that works. So Canadian-born actor, comedian Seth Rogen, I guess that's what they want you to think about, tweeted Saturday that the people of the British Columbia should hang out alone and smoke weed and watch movies and TV shows. So think about that. 2020, your celebrities are telling your kids to take drugs and watch movies and stay alone. Just think about that. This guy here, you see his smile? Just stay at home and jerk off the tranny porn. Just go and watch my movies and smoke lots of weed. Just think about this. So Mike Milbury is probably going to be fired because he made a comment saying the hockey players won't be distracted by women. And yet Seth Rogen tells your children to stay at home and take drugs. And somehow he's a hero. Somehow he's a good guy. It's just amazing. I mean, it's out of this world. How insane, how inverted everything is. It's like, what? Like, since when is it good for big time celebrities and movie stars to encourage people to take drugs? And the Canadian Brainwashing Corporation here, who wants to turn your kids into trannies, are all on board with this. They're promoting this. This was like the #1 story the other day. It was from August the 15th. I never got to it till now, though. Had it on the back burner here. Where were we? Hey, there's my video. Somebody's got down. COVID-19. MLB. Okay, so one of my patrons sent me this here. MLB considering tech to detect fans. It might have been innovation. I don't know. Thank you so much, whoever it was. I really appreciate it. But MLB considering tech to detect fans not wearing masks. So Major League Baseball is considering using tech to detect fans that aren't wearing their mask. 2020, planet Earth.
Months since Major League athletes have heard the roar of fans while playing to packed stadiums and arenas. Health officials say that's not likely to change anytime soon. But some Major League Baseball teams are in talks with a tech company that could help fill seats safely.
Safely!
Fans will only score if they play by the rules.
It's nice to see fans are having fun with the new pandemic rules for stadiums and arenas.
How is that having fun? Like, is that really having fun? Is paying to put your dog's picture up in the stands having fun? I guess maybe it's fun. Maybe you spot it for a second. Hey, there's Ralph! Look, it's Benji! You know? Wow.
This guy populated an entire section with 100 versions of himself. And epidemiologists say his clones will likely have the same seats again next.
Well, they're giving you clues about the clones right now here as well. And this, I mean, seriously, it won't be long before, you know, now Britney Spears has 5 clones, you know, or Bill Gates and his 100 clones. Well, we're actually thinking about making several thousand and sending them to the moon. You know, it won't be long. It won't be long before the clones are here, if they're not already.
Next year.
I think that if you look at things realistically, we're not going to have these big scale events, you know, sports venues, concerts, anything like that in the pre-vaccine era.
Yet there is hope. Korean baseball is now allowing fans to attend games. However, capacity is maxed out at 10%. The fans are all wearing masks and sitting far apart. And Korea, unlike the US, has handled the pandemic well.
But if you pack a stadium...
That's it, man. Go communist. Yeah, I got it all lockstep, and that's, you know. Look at this.
Even if everybody's wearing a mask.
This guy's been, I've covered this guy several times before. This is a typical douchebag they bring on to show this stuff.
And they're all doing it properly. It still is a risk for transmission. And that's why I think that, you know, you still want to have a sparse crowd far enough apart so that even if somebody's not wearing a mask properly, you have a buffer zone there.
Can North American sports fans respect those buffer zones? Or is it a recipe for confrontation? Well, a California company founded by Calgarian Jazz Banga is offering a solution. Software that uses existing security cameras to spot fans ignoring mask rules. It's up to the facility operators to determine how to respond.
Right, so I think there's a lot of places where people are looking for
the operators to determine how to respond.
Right.
It's then up to the facility operators to determine how to respond.
It's beyond evil what they're doing. So they're showing you that they're starting to put this stuff everywhere, and it's going to be able to detect people that aren't wearing their mask. It's so insane, folks. It's so effing evil what's going on.
Right. So I think there's a lot of places where people are looking for tech to maybe take a place of harsh enforcement.
In terms of privacy, there's no facial recognition involved. It's all about the mask.
That's the biggest joke ever. There's no facial recognition technology involved. It's all about, well, how are you going to go and arrest the non-maskers if you can't identify them? They're so full of crap.
So we just provide heat maps, and that's really the essence.
Somebody should ban this guy's frickin' sweater too. I mean, what's going on here?
The feedback we give. There's no identity involved at all.
There's no identity involved at all. I mean, seriously, you people should all be arrested.
He's talking with some major league teams, but he won't say which. At this point, it's all speculation.
Damn, I'm just looking at what stadium is this? This is the Oakland Athletics stadium. Look at how high up those seats are. That is ludicrous. That is insane. That's where the peasants go. Look at that. Look at how high up you are. That's ludicrous. You know what? Pro sports is cancer. It is. That's all. So if you like cancer, go and indulge. Just stay away from this crap. I mean, it's just pure evil. Here is coronavirus BC issues fines of up to $2,000 to enforce COVID-19. So it's just another example of how the tyranny is just unleashing. And then this is a Heineken commercial here, back to the bars. So Heineken, and I'm trying to recognize the city here. Is this Hong Kong? I think it is Hong Kong. I could be wrong if somebody knows. It looks like Hong Kong to me. Anyways, we'll see what's going on here.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
I hope I don't get a stupid gay ass. Oh, here's a woman that doesn't have one. You see, everybody's got their mask on. And then you got people that are doing their, oh man. The X on the chair. I mean, it really is a muzzle, right? It is a muzzle. That's what it is. That's and by the way, you can't hear it. I had to turn it down because of copyright strike, but the lyrics are, that's life. That's the way it will be, right? They're telling you this is the way it's going to be, sort of thing. Here, you go ahead. You go first. Black Lives Matter, so the black guy should go first, I think. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you can't do that. Yeah. All right, look at this. Look at this. It's just evil. I have people doing that to me in the hardware store and stuff when I go. Like they'll like, I had a lady that backed into like a bunch of brooms when I was walking down the aisle because she was afraid I was getting too close or something. I was laughing my ass off. But yeah, it's pretty evil, folks. Yeah. Socialize responsibly to keep bars open. So they used to say drink responsibly, didn't they? And now it's socialize responsibly. Quite something, is it not? And none of the bars can survive with that type of... You can't survive, right? Bars can't stay open when you've got, say, a third or a quarter of the capacity that you're allowed to have. You can't stay open. Bars can barely break even, like, just as is. Most bars. So most bars are going to close because of this. And what does that mean, too? Bars, restaurants, cafes, all the like, right? What does that mean? Well, it means people won't eat out anymore. They won't socialize. Because there won't be any place for them to socialize. Because all the bars, restaurants, and whatnot are closing down. They're killing all these businesses. And they're doing this because they want to destroy our ability to socialize. And they want to watch everything that we're doing all the time. That's why they're putting the facial recognition and the mass detection cameras and stuff in so that they can enforce their whole thing. I mean, it's just crazy what's going on. This stuff really depresses me. Shooting mask onto people's faces. This was like #1 on trending the other day. It's got 1.7 million views here. It's a YouTube
nose-revealing, bird-brained homunculi mask holes. Look at these mask holes. These mouth-breathing, nose-revealing, bird-brained homunculi mask holes. It feels like people just aren't wearing masks, and they should be.
It's just like, I wish I could say things, right? But I can't. It just hit me with a hate speech, right? But these are terrible people without any doubt. So you just got to see how the other side works and how they program people into this type of behavior. And so this shill, Alan Pan, sufficiently advanced, has created this this new type of mask that you can shoot onto people's faces. Because, you know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This thing looks absolutely freaking insane. I don't know what I thought this was gonna look like.
And he's got the NASA with the rainbow, of course. It's basically YouTube employees here.
When I started making it, I wouldn't have guessed alien, sci-fi, alt history, steampunk, but here we are. Each of these projectile weights has a neodymium magnet at the very tip of it, and that's what keeps it securely on the barrel. These brass tubes are for line retention or string retention. It's what keeps everything untangled and ready to fire. And I don't know, I was just able to find a pretty stiff surgical mask that just sits there and fits perfectly behind the projectiles and is really secure without any additional adhesives. Although, talking about adhesives, I have a feeling that we're gonna need to put something on the inside. Take a look at that, dude. Take a look at that.
It's only the most evil plot in the history of humanity. You know that, right? So I guess you could probably tell what I think about this turd. Oh my God! Holy Christ. Laura Loomer. Stop the bias with the Twitter upside down. Right-wing activist Laura Loomer. Is that what she is? GOP. Wins GOP primary in Florida congressional race. They also had one of the other ones there. What's her name? Millie Weaver. In a totally skit about her being arrested or something. These characters. So, far-right activist Laura Loomer, who has been banned from multiple social media platforms for incendiary comments, won the Republican primary, the U.S. House District in Florida. That's home of President Donald Trump. Trump also tweeted her out and congratulated her on this. My word, what a creature this person is. Laura Loomer, if you're not familiar with. I used to cover her way back in the day. She's a maggot. One of Trump's, they're operatives, actors playing their roles. Anyways, Nestle launches vegan alternative to tuna. Because why should you eat something beautiful and natural that is full of nutrients and has been placed on this earth by God himself in order to give you everything you need to survive? And it tastes great as well. And it's also very difficult to catch and all these things. But why get something that's perfectly organic and healthy, a living organism? Why not get some bio lab concoction? And that's what they're doing with all our foods. So Nestle here launching a new plant-based. There's nothing to do with plants. I mean, it's stupid. There's no plants in this. Soylent Green, though, yeah. Plant-based tuna alternative in Switzerland this month ahead of the global rollout, hoping that consumers eating at home during COVID-19 pandemic will stay eager to try new products. I bet you can't wait. You're all like, yeah, I'm going to run out and buy some sensational Vuna. There it is. Plant-based ingredients. Like, what does that mean? Plant-based. It's made from plants, Jeff. All right, come on, stop being silly. It's very healthy. Made from plants. I mean, it's the stupidest stuff in the world. It is what it is, folks. It's our New World Order diet. And then we've got this Fitbit study. I guess, and again, thank you to my patrons who sent me this here. Fitbit study suggests wearables can detect COVID-19 before symptoms appear. COVID-19 detected. COVID-19 detected. And then contact tracing. I'm a contact tracer. I do it for money. Think about it. Your watch is going to squeal on you. Isn't that awesome? COVID-19 detected. And then you're going to be forced into quarantine. Now you can't even quarantine at home. The government's going to set up quarantine places for you. It's all happening, folks. So Fitbit has detailed some fascinating early findings of its COVID-19 wearable study, which aims to find an algorithm to identify infections early. That it can detect half coronavirus infections the day before symptoms appear with 70% specificity is the most important development here. Fitbit director, research Connor Hennigan, has published an interesting post on the study at Fitbit blog. How comes all of these corporations are involved in this stuff? It's just out of this world, is it not? Everything is being made with COVID. Everything is being made to detect COVID. Everything, all of a sudden, everybody that used to manufacture ties and wedding dresses are now all making masks. All of a sudden, all the pharmaceuticals that would make you all the antidepressants, they're now making all the vaccines. It's out of this world. So he writes, fatigue is the most commonly reported symptom. Only 55% registered a fever, suggesting temperature screening alone may not be enough to understand who might be infected. Breathing, heart rate variability, and resting heart rate. Now, I warned people when the Apple Watch came out. I warned people when the iPhone came out, but I warned people when the Apple Watch came out. I said, that device is it's like a ankle bracelet or something, right? It's there to monitor you. They make it think that it's there to make you fit, but there's no gizmo that can make you fit, right? I mean, it's silly. You have to, the only way to be fit is to actually do things, and you shouldn't need a gizmo to get you to do that stuff. You shouldn't be looking, how many steps did I take today? Right? If you need a gizmo to get you in shape, you're never going to stay in shape, period, because you have the wrong mentality. The thing is, they sell it to you like that. Oh, this device will make your life easier. But really, what's the device for? Well, now we know what the device is for. What we speculated is now been proven. Oh, it's not even speculation, by the way, because when I did videos exposing the Apple Watch and the other ones that they were using, I was saying they're surveillance devices. Now they're not even hiding it, though. Now they're telling you that these surveillance devices can detect whether you have COVID-19. So, anyways. Unbelievable, eh? Anthony Fauci recovering after surgery to have polyp removed from vocal cord. That's I guess all those speeches got to him. And there he is. And he I guess he's shaved his head or something. I mean, it's just nuts. It's just insane what's going on. Anyways, we'll move on from that. 750 million genetically engineered mosquitoes approved for release in Florida Keys. I wonder who approved that. Yeah, we covered this, of course, when they were the Bill Gates. They're the Bill Gates mosquitoes, remember? The Bill Gates mosquitoes. All right. Hang on. had to get some bone broth going here. Okay, so cool and creepy. CC33. What have we got? We got the mice. Genetically modified mice, of course, which they're using for this COVID thing. But this is the genetically modified mosquitoes. So a plan to release over 750 million genetically modified mosquitoes into the Florida Keys in 2021 and 2022 has received final approval from the local authorities against the objection of many local residents and a coalition of environmental advocacy groups. The proposal had already won state and federal approval. With all the urgent crisis facing our nation in the state of Florida, the COVID-19 pandemic, racial injustice, and climate change, what do these three things have in common? The administration has used tax dollars and government resources for a Jurassic Park experiment, said J.D. Hansen, Policy Director of International Center of Technology Assessment and Center of Food Safety. Now the Monroe County Mosquito Control District has given the final permission needed. What could possibly go wrong? We don't know, because the EPA unlawfully refused to seriously analyze environmental risk. Now, without further review, the experiment can proceed. Approved by the Environment Protection Agency, aka Monsanto, in May, the pilot project is designed to test genetically modified mosquito is a viable alternative to spraying insecticides to control the Aedes aegypti, a species of mosquito that carries several deadly viruses such as the Zika, dengue, the chikungunya, and the yellow fever. Now, what would you be more comfortable having biting you? Right? The mosquito that might be carrying these spooky sounding things, or the Bill Gates mosquito? So if you would rather have, I'll give this to the chat here. You can vote 1 for the regular mosquito or 2 for the Bill Gates. Which one would you rather have sucking your blood? 1 for the regular mosquito, 2 for the Bill Gates mosquito. There you go. The mosquito name OX5034 has been altered to produce female offspring that die in the larval stage while before hatching and growing large enough to bite and spread disease. Only the female mosquito bites for blood. She needs to mature her eggs. Males feed only on nectar and are thus not the carrier of disease. Well, I mean, what could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Bill Gates, mosquitoes. And just in case, because it doesn't seem like they mention it here. I don't see it here. I don't see Bill Gates' name popping up. Nope. Don't see Bill Gates. Okay, so we'll just put that in. Bill Gates mosquitoes. There we go. There's Bill Gates mosquitoes. Now, there you go. These are the Bill Gates mosquitoes. The Bill and Melinda Gates mosquitoes. And that's what they're doing. Bill Gates mosquito-borne diseases have taken a break. Bill Gates, we can't give up fighting malaria. And yeah, they seem to be covering up that. But this is their mosquitoes. This is their, we covered this a few times before. Malaria killing mosquitoes, and here how it could work and all that. Anyways, let's move on from that. Where are we here? I don't really have much else to talk about, do I? Before I get to the chat here. Oh yeah, this was interesting. Not sure if you caught this. The FBI tweeted a copy of the Protocols of the Elders of Zion the other day. Such a bizarre thing. Grace had it. Let's see if I can find where Grace had it here. I'll go to my, where am I here? I'm sure I got Grace in here somewhere. There she is. Okay, so let's see if I can find it on her thing here. It's really bizarre because they tweeted this the other day. And yeah, here it is. Okay, so earlier today, so I'll see if I can find the actual shot of the tweet here. Maybe I go through the thread here. There, let's see here. So the FBI had tweeted this. I wanted to show you the picture of it. Earlier today, FOIA materials were posted on the FBI's Vault and FOIA Twitter accounts via an automated process without further outlining the context of the documents. We regret this release may have inadvertently caused distress amongst communities we serve. So they put out a tweet, and that's not the tweet. So that's the response to the tweet. I don't know. She's got it somewhere here. It's probably from a day or two ago. So I'll see if I can spot it here. And she had the tweet here. So we can look at the original tweet from the FBI. Oh, yeah. Here's David Rothschild responding to the tweet. Here. Did Q hack at FBI Twitter account? David Rothschild here, right? What did they mean by this? Oh yeah, so this is it here. So the Twitter here has been removed. The tweet has been removed. And so what happened was that the FBI account actually posted a link to the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. It's really bizarre. It's just like, what? So, yeah, you can't talk about people you're not allowed to talk about. And, yeah, a bunch. Oh, there it is. So that's the tweet. So that's what I wanted to show you here. FBI Records Vault, Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. Now, before they deleted it, it had received over 17,000 retweets and comments and nearly 20,000 likes. So, not sure what that's about, folks. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a trap. Maybe it was an experiment. Or maybe somebody at the FBI wanted people to see that. I don't know why, though. Why would anybody want to see what would you find in that? What would you find? If you read the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, like, why would that matter? Obviously, it's fake, right? But then if you read it and you looked around and you said, whoa. Wow. Right? If you actually read it and you're like, oh my gosh, it kind of looks like what's going on. I don't know. It's just a coincidence, of course. That's all it is. But yeah, isn't that interesting? Anyways, anything else? Is that it, Jeff? Anything else? The point. 13-year-old who stutters says at DNC Joe Biden made him feel more comfortable. Well, you could say he's not a girl, so. Yeah. I guess that's it. Oh, yeah, we got this. Morality pills may be U.S.'s best shot at ending the coronavirus pandemic, according to one ethicist. So COVID-19 is a collective risk. It threatens everyone, and we must cooperate to lower the chance that the coronavirus harms any one individual. Among other things, that means keeping safe social distance and wearing masks. But many people choose not to do these things, making the spread of infection more likely. When somebody chooses not to follow public health guidelines around coronavirus, they're deflecting or they're defecting from the public good. It's the moral equivalent of the tragedy of the commons. If everyone shares the same pasture for their individual flocks, some people are going to graze their animals longer or let them eat more than their fair share, ruining the commons in the process. Selfish and self-defeating behavior undermines the pursuit of something from which everyone can benefit. It's no different than what would be written in Maoist China or Bolshevik Russia. No different whatsoever. Khmer Rouge, it's the exact same. It might as well. It's exactly the same type of rhetoric. Everyone must do what they're told, and if some people don't do what they're told, then they threaten everyone else. Therefore, it is the most evil plot in the history of humanity. Democratically enacted enforceable rules mandating things like mask wearing and social distancing might work if defectors could be coerced into adhering to them, but not all states have opted to pass them or to enforce the rules that are in place. My research in bioethics focuses on questions like how to induce those who are non-cooperative to get on board with doing what's best for the public good. To be a good communist, right? A good comrade. To me, it seems the problem of coronavirus defectors could be solved by moral enhancement. Like receiving a vaccine to beef up your immune system, people could take a substance to boost their cooperative and pro-social behavior. Could a psychoactive pill be the solution to the pandemic? Parker Crutchfield. I'm trying to find his Twitter if he has one. I don't think any of these are him. So, Parker Crutchfield, who is an associate professor of medical ethics, humanities, and law at Western Michigan University. Parker Crutchfield. There he is. So this is Parker Crutchfield. And he is suggesting that we use psychoactive pills to get people to comply. He is associate professor of medical ethics, humanity, and law at Western Michigan University. See, people like me get censored and get our channels taken down because we show what they're doing. And people like Parker Crutchfield are suggesting drugging the population to make them comply. All I can say is I hope that God is watching. And that people that are like this get the justice that they so richly deserve. That's all I can say. 2020, planet Earth. This is an ethicist. It just takes it's I don't even know what to say. It's so evil. I don't. I don't know. If you were to peel the skin, would there be scales? That would be my question. Because, like, what kind of a human being would be like this to their fellow human beings? Imagine they tried to do this. That it's not even the vaccine that you're going to have to worry about. But that they're actually going to use psychoactive pills, force them on people. So that they're going to force drug you to comply with their tyranny. It's a far-out proposal that's bound to be controversial, but I believe it's worth at least considering given the importance of social cooperation in the struggle. I just want these people arrested. That's what I want. I want more, but I'm not going to say more. I want these people arrested. Anyways. I've got to stop looking at this because it's just going to make me blow my stack. The twins, of course, all over. We've been showing you the twin. How many twin things are going on. Anyways, I'm going to switch to the chat here. Sometimes it's just a bit too much doing this, you know? It's too much to see how evil people are. I never thought it would get so bad so quickly, kind of thing, right? Like I thought that, well, I hope that people can stand up to what they're doing. Anyways, I'll go to the chat here. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound deflated, but I'm pretty pissed off. It just makes me really upset to see the level of evilness that is occurring. It's like everything is moving towards complete tyranny. To me, it's much worse than what humanity's ever faced, because the tech and the medical sort of the medicinal tech sort of tyranny that is unprecedented, right? Like the whole surveillance. You could, like, as bad as, say, Bolshevik Russia or Khmer Rouge or Nazi Germany or, say, Maoist China or whatever any of these dictatorships were. You didn't have drones, right? You didn't even have vaccines. You didn't have facial recognition cameras. You didn't have big Harma. You didn't have the beast media and the internet and the constant surveillance of every single human being. So it scares me, the power that these people wield and how they are obviously abusing it. And we're seeing it really bad. The destruction of freedom of speech is full on, as you can see. I mean, just tonight, getting my show shut down on my main channel for hate speech. Because of what, right? What was I saying that would be hateful? Well, it's whatever, whatever they want to do, they're going to do it. So I'll probably have to flip platforms here shortly and, maybe move over to D Live and try things there. Won't be the same, but we can't really, got to do what we got to do, sort of thing. But it is dark times. People are going to have to draw a line in the sand. And, there's going to be a point where they're going to try to cross that line. There's no doubt about it. So they might have already crossed it for a lot of people, right? But they use this because what they do is they're clever, obviously, but they're also, you don't want to give them too much credit because they have too much power. So, right? But they're clever enough to know that this was all going to happen, that there would be huge backlash and that people would resist. And so they plotted out how they would deal with the resistance. And I can just see how they think these things out. It's like, oh, Americans will never fall for that. Well, then just convince them, right? Because the way it works is the whole thing is that it fits into the narrative. Like, it forces people to be collective, because it forces people almost into a communist dictatorship, because they say there's this invisible enemy and that you have to do the things that they want you to do. And then every day they make you do more things, right? So it's like what they made you do yesterday is not the same that they're going to make you do tomorrow. So it's like, they say, you can't go to work, right? And then you're like, okay, I can't go to work. And then they'll say, okay, well, you have to wear a mask now if you're going to go inside. So you go, okay, well, I got to wear a mask. You go inside. And then they say, well, you have to stay 6 feet apart and wear a mask and, hand sanitizer and all that. And you say, okay, I'll wear a mask. I'll stay 6 feet apart. I'll hand sanitize. And they say, well, we got to contact trace you. And you're going to have to sign in now or be contact traced. You're going to have this app going. And so, at a certain point, people start saying, well, wait a second, is how far is this going to go? And then you start seeing Melbourne, where you're not allowed to leave your house and you have to have permission, and you can only go within 5 kilometers. If you're caught breaking that, you'll be fined and potentially incarcerated. And then you see, okay, so is that what's coming next? So next it'll be you're not allowed to leave. You can't go 5 kilometers past your area. And then, right, where will it go after that? And then, they'll force you. I mean, it's all happening. So they know that there's a huge reaction to it. They know, they anticipated that this would happen because Americans, freedom, Constitution, and all that, right? So they're like, well, just twist it. So the people that are patriots and resist will point to them as being the cause. It's their fault. If they complied with everyone else, then this would be over. But it's their fault because they cherish their freedoms that they put everyone else at risk. So we'll make them the pariahs. We'll make them the enemy, right? And we'll get everyone else to target them. And just like we saw with the YouTube guy there, make videos ridiculing them and admonishing them and whatnot. And you just see how the whole thing plays out. It's the most evil plot in the history of humanity. In my opinion, that's what it is. And every day I am blown away by how evil it is and how much worse it gets. So it's pretty bad, folks. Pretty freaking bad, because there's gonna be a breaking point. People are gonna start I don't know. Anyways, so let's see here. Sorry, I'll get to the chat here, see how you're all doing. Floyd had a twin eagle tattoo as well. Yep, absolutely. Twin tornadoes, yep. Does anybody have any questions here? Oh, what's going on? My it wasn't loading or something. It's like I have to go to the thing here and see. People are saying here, we will all stay as long as we can, God willing, Jeff C. Thank you, Awake. Nice to see you. Nice to see you all, by the way. Thank you all for coming. Michelle says, hold steady. God is in control and is not surprised or shocked by any of this. Trust him and find true peace through all the darkness. Mr. Jones gets so many dirty looks. Hawk says, Call of Duty's latest trailer. Yeah, I saw that. They're showing Yuri Bezmenov. Yep. I was going to show that. I didn't have it. I don't know why I didn't have it ready for today, but I was going to show it the other day. Warning people about what's happening. You should watch it right now and check the comments. Very interesting. Yeah, it's all happening. Jeff, what are your thoughts on the Jesuit order? Tremendous amounts of power. It's all these secret societies. It's never not one. Have you heard of Trudeau and CAD government sued over CV measures by yes, Rocco Galati, yes. What do you think of it? I don't know. It's if it's part of a controlled thing. I mean, I think I agree with a lot of it from what I've seen. And they do mention a lot of what we talk about, like Event 201 and Bill Gates and all that. I just hope it's not controlled opposition. That's all I can say. So I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough to know for sure. But, hopefully not. What are the mosquitoes to be used for? Well, they're ostensibly they're to cut down on the malaria and the Zika and whatever else. But the bottom line is that they're genetically modified mosquitoes, and are you gonna take their word for? Oh yeah, they're mosquitoes that are gonna be, I mean, if Bill Gates is making mosquitoes, do you want to have that sucking your blood? That's what I'm saying. So I don't know, other than there's no way I would trust Bill Gates. And I could probably, I can say I wouldn't trust Bill Gates as far as I could throw him, but I could probably throw him a good 20 feet, right? So I wouldn't trust him at all. So, anyways, people move to the other side when you're not wearing a mask. Yeah. Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate that. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everyone. It is disheartening when you get your channel hit and all that, but nothing new for me, that's for sure. Man Bear Pig saying, I'm pushing for a no mask day, September the 11th. We will never wear a mask again after 9/11. Spread the word. Yeah, it's all right. No worry about the caps. Caps are fine with me. You watch Aruda do the same. Melbourne. Yeah, the Aruda. I'll be a very bad boy. He might be a very bad boy. There's Mika from BC. There's Uncool Paranoia. 3.4 earthquake in Detroit. Agenda 2030 in full force. Yeah. Thanks, Angel. I'm not gonna take a break, but obviously I won't be able to. People will think I'm taking a break because I won't be able to post anything for a couple of weeks on Jeff Censored. Hopefully the channel will stay up, and in a couple of weeks I'll be able to let those folks know. But it is what it is. You just gotta roll with the punches when you do this stuff. You can't get too carried away. And I gave up a long time ago, many years ago, worrying about subs and channels and stuff like that. I just keep rolling kind of thing. Good folks will find their way. First time I noticed the star was a Morton Blackwell appearance. He is the head of council for national policy. Oh, okay. Thoughts on Pardon My American channel? I don't know that channel actually. Scattered Mouse. Don't think I've seen it. Maybe it's good. I don't know. There's a company in New York that was testing people for CV-19 every week back in November 2019 if they'd been near China for work. Have you read The Hideous Strength by C.S. Lewis? I read it. I read all the C.S. Lewis way back when, even the Chronicles of Narnia and stuff like that. But the Hideous Strength, wasn't that like the third book of a trilogy? I'm trying to remember it. I just remember there's some cool ideas in that one. I have to, but I've read it way back when, sort of thing. I'd have to go back and look at it. That's with all the different planets, and I think Earth is supposed to be the silent planet or something like that. Anyways, you'll have to. There's an innovation. Do you think they could pull off a Trump and Pence dual assassination and Pelosi would be president? I don't think it would work that way. I don't know what the chain of command would be if both I don't think it would be Pelosi. I think it would be somebody else in the Republican Party. Because it wouldn't... I don't know how that would work, though. But no, I don't think... And that would be crazy. It wouldn't matter anyways. It's all just a big puppet show. But I do think there's a strong... I don't want to say it because, it's all theater, right? But I do think part of the theater could be a Trump assassination. I think they could be gearing up for that big time. I think that would be the thing, that powder keg that would kick the whole Civil War thing into full gear if that's what they want. So, I don't know. Did you see the video by Leak Freemason Inside Info about their plans for the rest of the year 2020? No, I didn't see it. Lorraine. Okay, hang on a second. I'll be right back. Remember to stick a cold one in the... Anyways, we try to have some fun here. What do you think of the California fires? Smoke on the coast is impossible. I don't know. I mean, I think that they're burning people out. That's what I think. I don't really know. Like some of them are going to be real. Some of them are going to be bullcrap, but they're going to target those areas. And I think it's all part of Agenda 21. So, yeah. It's just my opinion, but... don't know if you covered it yet. Article said there were black newborn 3 times more likely to... Yeah, I did. I covered it. I freaked out. That was, what show was that? Or Friday. That was the show I did on Tuesday. I think it was Twisted Tuesday or whatever. And I freaked out. Yeah, I mean, it's so evil. It's like, yeah, black babies are 3 times more likely to die. I mean, it's so diabolical. As if doctors... there are bad doctors, no question, but seriously, I mean, as if a white doctor would be like, yeah, this is a black baby, I'm gonna like not treat it well. I mean, it's so silly, right? I mean, a baby's a baby, right? Just like a human being's a human being. Doesn't matter what your skin color is, right? And like, I'm not saying that it hasn't happened or something like that, but it's insane to suggest. Because any doctor that would do that would be a psychopath, right? Like, what kind of a doctor would not professionally deliver a baby, right? It's just nonsense. It's silly. It's absolute race baiting garbage. But that's what they do, right? They want black people to think that white doctors are somehow killing babies, or it's just so evil. Anyways, my friend got denied kidney dialysis for not wearing a mask. Pure evil. Oh, no. That's too bad. I'm sorry to hear about that, Sherm. Trump might end up where Epstein is, on a beach in Tel Aviv. Thanks, Eben. I appreciate that. Jeff's getting booty call. I had to stick a beer in the fridge because, it's better when they're cold. Check out the new trailer for Call of Duty video game. Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna cover it. Maybe I'll cover it this weekend. So I'm not gonna cover it now, but I did see it. It's got Yuri Bezmenov and talking about the whole... That's just nuts. It's crazy. Realistically, what do you think will happen in the world over the next 3 years? For a while, I thought it'd get bad by 2021. Due to my confusion, 21 in Agenda 21. I think it's bad. I don't know how bad it's going to get, but it's bad right now, and it could get a lot worse. Or, we hope, it'll get better, but I don't think they're going to let up. I don't think they're going to... I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to make dire predictions, but it doesn't look good the way things are going. So, good time to head to the hills, I guess. Freedom is illegal. Yeah. Seems these days that's what they've done, though. They've twisted it so that people that cherish freedom are like, okay, think about it this way. It's Americans' belief in freedom that causes the COVID to spread. So the freedom is bad. So freedom is bad, because it leads to spreading COVID. So they've twisted what freedom actually means, and that's why they've managed to convince a lot of people that totalitarianism is the way to go. God help us. 5 separate fires just don't magically pop up within 7 minutes of each other naturally. No. Well, I don't know the facts with that, but yeah, I think they're using some sort of tech to strategically target areas and whatnot, but I can't prove it, so it's just a thought. Thoughts are illegal, though. Truth is now a crime. Yeah. Doctors aren't what you think they are. Well, no, I think I know what they are. I've got doctor friends. I mean, there's doctors that listen to this show and stuff like that. I've got several friends I grew up with that are doctors, so I know what doctors are. It's just you could say, oh yeah, a lot of them are in the cut or whatever, or are betraying people through the COVID thing, and I agree with that. Money is a big factor, obviously, but yeah, I don't believe that. I think it would be you would have to be a psychopath to treat a newborn baby or deliver a baby differently for, say, a colored person or whatever. I mean, to me, it makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. Of course it doesn't. It's just insanity. And again, there are bad doctors for sure. There's Dr. Death and people like that are obsessed with killing people and whatnot. Anyways, we'll move on from that. Yeah, did you hear about no jab, no pay? I covered it. Yeah, Susan, thanks for bringing it up. I did cover it. No jab, no pay. That was, what's her name? Horseface there in New Zealand with her package there. Ardern. Did you know Antoine Levame was a tribe member? No, I didn't know, but don't surprise me. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. Thanks, AK-49. Appreciate that, too. BLM, burn, loot, murder. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Burn and loot and murder. All doctors speaking out against this are censored constantly. That's right, Brian. Exactly. The air is full of smoke everywhere, and the moon is bright red here in Colorado. Some places near me are raining. Yeah, again, that's bad. I'm sorry to hear that, Sarah Connor. I hope you keep yourself safe. Trust me, I'm not a doctor, says Bill Gates. Just want to thank me when he grows up. Yeah. Look up Dr. Stephen Lanka, dismantling the virus theories. Viruses are not real. Yeah. Dr. Kevorkian. Yeah, that's right. Hope you have a bit of phone in with the listener soon. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I have to figure out how to do it. I can't have people calling my home, but I'm gonna have a Patreon show in a couple weeks or less than that. It's like maybe 10 days from now or so. So once a month. So that'll be a lot of fun. And that's anybody that's on my Patreon can come, right? We had a great show. It was fantastic. A bunch of people here were on the show. So ask them that. I'm sure everyone had a great time. I sure as hell did. All doctors are trained in big pharma, which makes them bad by design. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that all doctors are bad, because I've had good doctors, and some of my friends are doctors. Not all doctors are bad. In fact, there are really good doctors, and then there's really bad doctors. I've seen it too many times in my life. I've dealt with really good doctors that genuinely do care, and then I've dealt with doctors that are just scumbags, right? Don't matter the color, don't matter the race or the ethnicity or whatever. Don't matter. And nurses are like that too. I mean, it's phenomenal. And there's terrible nurses. Anybody that's a nurse knows this, right? You know this, right? There's some nurses that just have no people skills and they should never be a nurse. Teachers are the same too. A lot of bad teachers, man. Anyways, I don't want to judge people. I'm just saying that the whole thing is that, you know, they're just trying to make you think that white people are inherently racist. They want you to think that. They want you to think over and over again that, you know, they just want you to buy into that. They want you to think over and over and over again that there's white people are the worst people in the world and all this crap, right? It's all garbage. There's bad people everywhere and there's good people everywhere, and it doesn't have anything to do with skin color. It really doesn't. So, you know, it's anyways. I saw that video on Direct Energy Blast. Comment on it. Jen says bacon, lettuce, and mayonnaise. Uncool says, marry me, Jeff. You could stop leaving that comment. Zero. We've seen it. An artificially intelligent supercomputer runs the world. That's possible. I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't say maybe runs the world. Maybe, possibly, yeah. That could make sense. That would make sense in a sense that, say, the supercomputer was developed and was brought in to save the world, and the supercomputer says, okay, we must stop people from breeding, you know, push homosexuality and lesbianism and LGBTQ, NSW, destroy freedom of speech, you know, and all that. Or it's just very evil people that realize that this is the way. I don't think their plan is all that difficult to see. I think it's pretty transparent. It's just their methods is pretty hard for us to deal with. So, ironic that IBM's first supercomputer was called Q. Yeah, isn't that interesting? And Hawk says carrying has nothing to do with it. They're trained for the Rockefeller system, which is inherently bad for everyone. I can agree a bit with that. Because I think you're right with the, you know, take pills and stuff like that. But, I mean, still, right? I mean, if you're sick and you want to get help, you're not going to... I mean, it would be nice if we had a witch doctor, right? I think, you know, acupuncture and things like that. There's a lot of different things that are definitely, you know, not accepted, but because Rockefeller medicine and all that crap. But again, right? I mean, like if you got to have surgery or something like that, right? You've got a serious problem. You know, it's not that all their methods are terrible and wrong. Anyways, I'm not going to debate that. I do agree that Rockefeller medicine method is pretty bad. It's getting people to be lifelong addicts and whatnot. Can we make one-off donations on your Patreon and still gather locked info and access? It's the thing with that is that I don't control Patreon. If it was, I would say yeah, absolutely, but I don't control it. So it's like the way that it works is that, you know, if you're signed on, then, you know, that's how it works. Like they don't offer anything else. I don't know why they don't offer anything else, but that's the system that it is. So unfortunately, at the moment, it's not working that way. But I could try to work something out. I mean, if people have donated and they're like they can't afford but they still want to come on the shows and stuff like that, I'll see if we'll work something out for sure. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the system. I don't control it. It's out of my control. But thanks for the question, though. I appreciate it. What organization never gets in trouble for pedophilia? Yeah. I know where you're going. Yeah, talk about people. Now let's talk about, yeah. What type of deals do celebs have to make in order to get famous? Do they have to do things they'll regret later on, or does that happen only in the higher levels like Beyonce? I don't know. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab that cold beer. Hopefully it's cold by now. We got the bone broth going here. Yeah, so what type of deals do celebrities make? I don't know. I think it's different for a lot of them. It depends on your level, your tier. It's interesting because I think the higher you get up, the more they expect out of you, or the more that they'll. It's really, I don't know. I mean, like, you could speculate to the cows come home exactly what they have to go through. I think most of them do have to go through deals, obviously. And I don't know what level gets the deals. I imagine if you're just a local celebrity, you're probably signed on to something, like you're working for a local television station or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But a lot of people would say that those people are just useful idiots. And I've had a lot of talks with people about the varying degrees of control that is implemented. I think in a way, yeah, I don't really know what deals they make, and I don't know who, like, for instance, if they say they have to make a blood sacrifice and stuff like that, there's a lot of evidence to support that that type of stuff does happen, like sacrificing a family member, you know, maybe, but we could just agree that most of the celebrities, or all the celebrities, I don't think you get famous without making that deal. So everybody that's got a name and is successful has made a deal. There's no question about that. It's just what level. So I don't really know at what level. Maybe if you ever get a chance to get one of these people alone in a room, maybe they'll tell you. I don't know. Probably won't, though, because usually these are deals that if you tell anybody, you're dead, sort of thing. So I don't know. Anyways, thanks, Jay. Appreciate that. Chabad Lubavitch AI supercomputer. Love you, Jesse. Oh, thank you, Candyman. Have you looked into what's going on in Belarus? Yeah, I'm not really, because there's just so much going on, but I do see that there's massive protest and all that, and it's all being covered up, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I'll try to look more into it. Thanks, Innovation. I appreciate always everything that you help me with. Didn't they sell the first Apple computer for $666? Yeah, it was $666 for the Apple. Yeah, I think it was the Apple II or something. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So, yeah. Sammy says, my uncle was a heel practitioner. He gave me acupuncture often for back pain. It helped. Awesome. I'm doing all kinds of exercises. Try to strengthen the back and keep it... I was doing a lot of physical stuff today, so I'm hanging in there. Let's see here. Thanks, Uncool. Appreciate it. Thanks, Patricia. I appreciate it. Watching a deaf comedy jam the other day. So funny. They couldn't get away with that today. It's you gotta, you know what? For your entertainment, go back. You could still watch movies and stuff and comedy, but go back 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and you'll find stuff that's more pure and less Agenda 21 sort of thing. The transformation is remarkable. It's like watching those movies in the 80s. I mean, there's a lot of like strong homosexual undertones and a lot of blockbusters and stuff like that, but it wasn't so obvious. And you still had like the alpha male and the James Bond style formulas or Conan and stuff like that. It's bad now. I have trouble watching today's movies because I just like, oh my God, what are they going to push? What are they going to put in there? What are they doing? But I think you can go back and find a lot of good stuff. Travolta's son died in a bathtub, right? Yeah, is that true? Crack open a bone broth. Mark Devlin does some good videos on music industry. I don't think I know him. That's a strange name, though. I don't know if I trust somebody named Devlin. AK-49 says, I will not comply. I'm not a Borg, and resistance is resistance in my mantra. No mask or vaccines or pills for me. They have to kill me first. Good for you. Yeah, good for you. Jeff Censored, can you write a book we can buy? Call How China Invented Hockey. Yeah, that would be hilarious. New Zealand's going into full lockdown. Martial law soon. Mandatory testing. Are you in New Zealand, Bling? Paranoia says, my Loch Ness monster caught COVID. Oh, gosh. Well, I know a good Sasquatch that could offer some treatment for that. Jeff goes swimming. Oh, I love swimming. Susan, I love you, Jeff. You make me feel so much better. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. How's your back pain? It's manageable. I'm doing a lot of physical stuff, so it's hanging in there. It's touch and go, though. But yeah, it's good. I'm just being, whatchamacallit? What's the word I'm looking for? I can't figure the word. I'm being not aggressive, but I'm being proactive. That's the word. Proactive. There you go. Good answer. Proactive. I'm just trying to stay ahead of the pain. Stretches help. Yes. Yeah, I do. People have sent me all this great stuff. I think swimming is great exercise. I wish I had a place to swim, though. Yeah, it's Superman saying, I think the whole deal applies mainly to A-list celebrities. Less famous people that aren't celebs, like voice actors, for example, I personally think are just useful. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't think it makes sense that everybody, every little Tom, Dick, and Harry sort of person, like on the set or the studios, it's most people don't have a voice or anything. It's the Brad Pitts, it's the Matt Damons, and the Angelina Jolies and the Brie Larsons and all those characters that are like the name in the headlights. Those are the people that people listen to. It's just like in the celebrity sports world, right? It's the big time celebs, sports celebs, Magic Johnson, right? Shaquille O'Neal and people like that. So, I think that's how it works in basketball and NBA. It's mostly Freemasonry that they use to bring these people in under the fold. So I think they bring them in the club that way. And then, that's how it works. Anyways, no movies for me. I hate them. I like movies, but I try to go back and watch like a lot of, I watch movies from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. I try to avoid today's movies because I know how evil it is, but it's, yeah, Nefinit says, watch period dramas, less propaganda. Yeah. There's a good Disney movie from way back, The Cat from Outer Space. I don't think I know that one. Oh, yeah. Here in Germany, it's all about Agenda 21. From next year on, we won't have any brown coal power plants anymore. So are you guys all like, is it mostly nuclear power plants? Because they're phasing out all the coal, which is really bad in the sense that nuclear energy is so much more risky. Have you seen that show called Dark, which is Netflix, and it's all in German? I watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes. I couldn't get through it though. It was dark. But yeah, it's all dealing with a nuclear power plant sort of, and a time loop, which occurs underneath the power plant or whatever. Anyways, dark stuff. What music software do you use? I don't know. I use, because I'm more of a player than I am a software guy. I'm not really good with software. I do use Ableton and Logic. I said Live, Ableton Live and Logic Pro. That's on my computer. So that's basically what I use. I use a lot of software synthesizers that I connect to my piano sort of thing. Or I have an electronic piano sort of thing. So that's how I like to record things. And I got drum pads and whatever, but I also have drums. So yeah. Jeff, do you wear a mask everywhere? Everywhere. In the shower, when I'm making love. All the time. No, I have a bandana that I keep in my back pocket. And when I got to go into a store, I just whip it out. Oh, yeah, the other day, I got a funny story. I'll tell you this. In the hardware store, right? And I put on a bandana, and then as soon as I get in the store, I just pull it down. So I don't give a crap, right? And most people don't bother me. But I was coming up to the cash, and the cashier was like, "Excuse me, sir. Can you please put your mask? Can you please pull that up?" I'm like, "What, sir? Can you please pull your up?" Because he didn't know what I had. He's like trying to figure out what's the name for it, because it's not a mask, right? It's like, I'm like, I'm not sure what you're saying. He's like, "Sir, and he's like, he's scanning my items, so they're, and I'm, and he's trying to get me to pull the mask over my mouth and nose. So I pulled it up right up above my on my head, my hair, right, like thing. I said like that. He's like, no, sir. Can you gotta cover your mouth and nose? I'm like, why? That's the way I deal with it, right? I act like I'm stupid, like, or coy, whatever. But I have fun with it, right? But I also know that most of these people, it's not their fault. So I don't want to I'm not cruel that I would make some poor sad sack cashier suffer. Unless I felt I deserved it, right? So I'll play around, but yeah, I try to anyways. So it was pretty funny. That's the way I kind of deal with things. But I try to not go into stores very often. If I'm gonna get groceries, I get a lot, and then I just 2 weeks I don't have to go again, sort of thing, hopefully. What do you think about Ted Nugent? He's a shill. He said some stuff calling out the scamdemic, but he's part of the whole left-right delusion. Exactly. Jeff in Maine, they want people to wear cone-shaped shields, just like a dog wear. Yeah, that's it. So you can't lick your testicles, right? So you got to put a cone on your head. You go around, I'm wearing this guy, I don't lick my balls. The doctor said to put stitches in my balls, and I don't know, he says it's going to take a few weeks, so I don't know. I mean, what are you going to do, right? They'll do whatever. They're going to just keep pushing us further. It's insane, isn't it? It's insane. It's insane. The transpocalypse is upon us. You better wake your ass up. Did you see the Pacific Islander COVID song about the New World Order rising? No. UN concert. It's insane. Can you... paranoia. Do you have... Yeah, you're on Twitter. Can you send me that? I would appreciate that. Thank you. Paranoia, by the way, is not optional anymore. Tart cherry juice concentrate is supposed to be good for inflammatory and pain joints. I'm gonna try it myself. Cherry, I love cherry juice. Well, I don't know cherry. I don't really drink cherry juice, but I love cherries. So yeah, that's pretty cool. My fiance is named Devlin. He's a pretty cool guy. Oh, okay, but it's not spelt the same way because like you got the Y instead of the I. Because I was like, devil in. Anyways, I said something the other day. I was making fun of, what was it? McBride. And one of my listeners named McBride. And I felt bad because it was like, I was like, McBride. It sounds like something you go to a McDonald's drive-thru to get a bride or something. Please don't take my humor the wrong way. I make fun of a lot of things, and sometimes I say things, and yeah. I put my foot in it. Anyways, if you're wondering about who is and is not a shill, try uploading one of those censored videos to your channel, and you will get your answer. If you're wondering who is and not a shill, try uploading one of those censored videos. Oh, I guess. I don't know. I don't wonder about that at all. I don't care. You know, I used to worry about those things, but they're not important to me because the corporate media is shill, right? It's all shills. The alternative media is almost all shills. So you got YouTubers and people on BitChute and whatnot, right? Like that's about what's left, and then you can take your pick there. So why worry about what somebody is? Just do your thing. Anyways, I uploaded one of Max's recent banned videos today, and I got a strike. The info box literally said YouTube terms of use do not allow content that questions the efficacy of the WHO. Oh, yeah, Max. I like his passion. I gotta say it. So Max, if you're listening, good job. I like the way that he calls out this shit, and he's calling it out as pure tyranny. So gotta support that. Haven't listened to him though. I don't really listen to other YouTubers, just my friends, because I don't really have time. But I wish I had time, and I definitely would. Ripped up my living room carpet and found a glory hole in the sub. Glory hole. Did you try it out? Go in the store and act dumb. Why is everyone wearing masks? What's going on? Yeah, that's hilarious. Hey, what's going on? I just woke up. I've been asleep for the last few years. Are you guys gone crazy? I don't know. They're wearing face shields now. WTF, yeah. Coneheads, yeah. Why don't you just put on Conehead then? Just go out there. Have fun with it. Don't you have medical exemption clause in Quebec? I'm not sure. Hawk, I'm not sure what. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you could say technically with the notwithstanding clause, maybe, but then I don't know. Quebec is all on board. I mean, most of the so-called outbreak in Canada, Canada. People are like, what the hell are you talking about? Rainbow Unicorn Land happened in Quebec, here in Montreal in particular. This was the epicenter for Canada, Rainbow Unicorn Land. Now they want to build large water hydrogen plants in Germany. Right now, only exist on paper. We can expect a shortage. Well, that's actually good. I think the hydro plants, because we have them in Quebec. We've only got one crappy old nuke that they're going to shut down. Ontario has I don't know if it's 8 or 12, something like that, nuclear power plants. And they're almost they're all around the frickin' Great Lakes, including one right next to Toronto. I would not feel safe. Definitely not. The hydro dams, I think, are cool. Even though they'll flood huge areas and stuff like that, but they're much cleaner. So Quebec actually got that right. That's one of the few things Quebec got right. When I first saw someone wearing a face shield, I was so confused. I thought it was a welder. You say, "Are you a welder?" Yeah, that's what you could say to them. What? Are you a welder? You got that mask on. That's When are they going to stop the face mask? Never. Unfortunately. Patricia says, I saw people wear face shields and no mask down the street. You got to admonish those people. You say, you got the face shield, but you don't have the mask. And you don't have the goggles. And you don't have the gloves and the hazmat suit. Yeah. You get just you know what? Let's all just get bubbles, and then we can go around and we could say you know what? This is actually a good idea. You get yourself a bubble suit, And then you can yell at all the mastards and say, why don't you guys have bubble suits on? Are you kidding? It's 2020. What's a stupid mask going to do? Yeah, I don't know if they could hear you through the bubble. Maybe you need a loudspeaker or something. Or, I don't know. Pickle juice is good for you. Is it? Yeah. I like pickles. I go into Walmart with no mask and they offer to give me one. I just keep walking. Good for you, Leslie. You always make me laugh when you say that. You should have that phrase patented. Which one? You better wake your ass up. That's not mine. There's gaps all around the face shield, so it's stupid. Yeah, that's right. It's dumb. There was a man's name written on the Sharpie next to the hole, and I don't know why. I almost died laughing. You're talking about the glory hole? Is it the glory hole? Hey, the Canadian government recommends glory holes. You know, that's what they've been doing. They've been recommending glory holes. It's so evil. These people are so evil. You see Justin Trudeau. Me and my wife have been using glory holes now since the COVID started. We both wear masks and we put a glory hole. And we get our kids to partake too. I wouldn't be surprised. Shaka says, no shame. Love comes in all forms. Plywood, cedar, pine, and oak. When are they going to stop the scamdemic? Never. Did you see they had Harry Potter themed protests in Thailand? Oh, man. No. Are you serious? Oh. When I go in anywhere, I show anyone who's trying to stop me the description on the box of the mask and say, oh yeah, that's smart. Spepham T. You got it, man. Who needs a comedian? We've got Jeff C. There you go. We could put glory hole. Yeah, that's it. You put a glory hole. Hey, it's okay. I got a glory hole here too. Anybody want to try out my glory hole? It's okay. It's COVID safe. It's okay. Yeah. Glory hole. Oh, man. China Flood 3 Gorge is ready to leak. Yeah, that's crazy, too. Imagine if it does, it busts. That would be insane. They had to displace 3 million people to put that thing up. Well, I felt that sneeze. I was going to warn, but I didn't have a chance. It was like... hamster bubbles, yeah. Let's see here. Pickle juice helps with leg cramps. Yeah, I gotta use some of that then. I hate leg cramps. It's bad when you're having a great sleep and all of a sudden you jump out of bed. People say, you gotta eat more bananas. Uploaded a video called Boo Boo Da Boogelman. I worked really hard on it. You're welcome to use it. It's funny as that. Oh, cool. Send it to me. Active. I gotta get shiny light here. Just by the way, I received a prophecy back in early December that my fiance and I, a part of, I feel like I need to tell you about it immediately. A prophecy? I don't know. I'm worried about that stuff. I don't trust prophecies. Belgium lifted wearing mask outside. Wow, cool. Good for them. That'll come back though. They'll be like, now you need a bubble and a glory hole. Now Belgian government makes glory holes mandatory. In a shocking move today, the Belgian government has announced that glory holes are now glory holes. That's such a crazy thing. Thoughts on celebs like Matt Damon, Brie Larson, and Chris Evans? I think they are all absolute scumbags. They might be genetic mutation clones, cyborgs. I don't know. I hate them. I'd like to beat up Chris Evans. I say like, hey man, you can wear your captain uniform, your Captain America thing. We'll go in the ring, duke it out. I hate that guy. I hate them all. Tonic water helps. Yeah. Magnesium. Everyone's giving everyone's giving leg cramp. Did you sneeze into your elbow? No, I sneezed into my glory hole. Glory days. In the wink of a young girl's eyes, glory days. The boss is in the house. I'm deathly allergic to bananas. Dang it. Okay, so you know what? If we've gotten one thing out of tonight's podcast, it's how to deal with leg cramps and how awesome glory holes are. I think we figured out those things. Pickle juice, they say, is good for a night of heavy drinking as well. Wow. Are you sure? I don't know about that, isn't it? I'm not so sure, Sean. I'm not so sure. You're deficient in magnesium. You will have leg cramps. Okay, I got to take magnesium now. I figure I just do a lot of leg things. Yeah, okay, so we got this magnesium citrate. Okay. Got the privacy booth death chamber set up right now by the pharmacy. The Netflix show should be the end of that criminal corporation. It should be, but it won't. Who are your favorite authors? I don't know. I don't read all that much these days. I mean, other than reading a lot of articles. I used to read tons of books. I wish I could. I would like to read more. I gotta figure out how to read and play instruments at the same time. I don't know. I don't really have, I mean, like when I was younger, I used to like Lovecraft and stuff like that. But, I read a lot of classic English literature, and I don't know. I don't really have extreme favorites. I guess I probably did in the past. I have thousands of books. I just don't read much these days. So I can't really give you any definitive sort of, that's my favorite author. But I did read a lot of pulp, a lot of sci-fi, fantasy, horror, right? Sci-fi I think is pretty cool though. Like sci-fi, because I think that's a legitimate, well, they can all be legitimate. There can be great fantasy. It could be great, all these things. But sci-fi I like because it deals with themes of where potentially humanity could be and go. I imagine now I would like to read a lot of the contemporary sci-fi right now to see how much predictive programming might be. They use these authors all the time. I mean, people mention, what was it before? C.S. Lewis. And that's going way back, but, yeah, there's a lot of interesting sci-fi writers that I think have been used to push New World Order agendas. I think a lot of science fiction actually. What am I talking? I mean, there wasn't even the question. The Netflix show. Okay, we saw that. Let's see. Now people are gonna put their. Saw Lucifer trending on Twitter. Shitter promotes. Yeah, exactly. Lucifer. Wonderful. Tell me your favorite authors. We'll see what people say, because I see Nefin, it says Jane Austen. Steve Austin. I like Steve Austin. You ever read Steve Austin? He wrote a book called The $6 Million Man. I'm being silly. Yeah, Jane Austen. I don't know. I think I read. What did I read from Jane? I had to read Jane Austen at some point, so I did read. Maybe it was Sense and Sensibility. Such a dumb name for a book. All Our Time is a Book Yet to Be Written. Yeah. It's hard to read Lovecraft when you live in this world. Yep. Yeah, we were in that. Potassium. And we still got the leg cramp crew in the house. I love it. It's great. Do you have a P.O. box for donations? No, sorry. Show me truth. I appreciate that. Did you read Brothers Grimm? Yes. I read all the Stephen Kings up until, I don't know, I think I stopped with Gerald's Game. But yeah, well, I used to read all that stuff, all of that. You name a science fiction author and I've read them. You know, Isaac Asimov, C.S. Lewis. Oh, that's more fantasy. I mean, I'm just thinking of some of the classic ones, Arthur C. Clarke and Dan Simmons, and I don't know. There's like so many. Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, the show is pretty crazy actually. I did watch that, by the way. That show, that Lucifer show, has been heavily promoted by the algorithm this year. Yep, because New World Order. Have you ever been on YouTube's Globebusters channel? No. Maybe. I don't know. They probably had me, like, maybe they featured my video. I don't know. No, I've never been on the channel. I don't know. Guy walks into an adult store, sees a glory hole in the back, and asks the guy behind the counter if there's a black girl, or if there, I don't know why I said a black girl, if there's a girl back there. I saw back there, black there. Guy, that's wasted. Guy says there's only one car in the parking lot. Okay. I cringe unbelievably hard when I see celebs and media say we're all in this together. Yep. Or use any of our quotes against us. Yes, I remember seeing Ted use a George Orwell quote. Yeah, I think it's all manifesting where the Orwellian sort of world, the doublespeak. I mentioned doublespeak tonight when I was talking. I said it's all doublespeak, right? Like they're saying things that, you know, like staying apart keeps us together. That's doublespeak. That's like classic Orwellian doublespeak. Staying apart keeps us together. I was like, what? It's vulnerability is strength. That's doublespeak. It's like, well, we are in 1984 plus New World Order, plus Brave New World, plus whatever horrible sci-fi dystopia you want to throw in there, right? David Icke is my favorite author. Does he write about lizard people? I haven't. I don't know. I didn't. I know he probably has a bunch of books. I haven't read them though. But that's cool, Keith. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. Hey Jeff, did you see Biden Troll Patrol? I was like, did I read that wrong? Biden Troll Patrol trucks outside DNC. No, I don't. Maybe that's what they took me down for. The whole DNC satanic frickin', you know, pentagram symbol that they just put up this year. Basically love 19th century British novels. Yep, 19th century British novels, even 20th century, early 20th century, but the classic sort of, when you read that, it's different. The thing about the, you know, all the great, you know, you can go back, Hemingway, Chaucer, and all these authors, but the thing that's different is that there was no such thing as film, right? And when you think about that, that changes, film changed everything. It changed the way that books were written, because all of a sudden the way that people visualize things changed. And so if you really want to read proper great novels, you actually have to go back before film. It's not that great novels can't be written now. Of course they can. And there's no real, this is how it has to be sort of thing. The thing is that film changed novels or writing and literature forever, sort of thing, for the worse, you could say, because the difference back then is that the author, the sort of prose, the formula, or not, it's not even formula, it's the wrong word to use, but the way, the expressivity of the literature had to be like it was something very different, because it's like you're not like, now people see things like a movie all the time, and authors see that way too. Like it's like a Stephen King book is like a movie, right? It's like most books that are written today are basically screenplays, right? Like in a way, because that's what it's almost impossible not to write it that way, because of how people grow up these days and what they're. So I'm saying authors are seeing probably a lot of movies as well as seeing a lot of television, and then reading a lot of books, and then the books are all influenced by the so it's a very different experience. That's why, old books and novels would spend a lot of time in descriptive sort of, you might spend, 2 or 3 pages describing someone's hair, for instance, or something like that, right? It's a different world now with books. So, but that's pretty cool. I think you got to go back in time to find a lot of good. Yeah, C.S. Lewis was not an Orthodox Christian. He's a total heretic. That's it. He kind of wove the Christian themes, like the Chronicles of Narnia, for instance, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe being probably the best known of that series, which the lion, what was his name there, represents Christ, right? So he would implement, but a lot of these so-called Christians were actually kind of new agey. Jim Henson was another one. Like they're very interesting characters. I think that's why they're so promoted by the New World Order, because they offer that Christian guise, but really they're kind of new age-ish in their overall sort of. Sherm says, I had a wicked dream last night and I was in another universe or something and watching Earth on fire. It seemed real. Oh gosh. Oh no. It's scary to know that 9/11 will be considered a historic event taught in schools. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Pretty soon, though, it will be white supremacy. I would be surprised. New evidence suggests white supremacists behind 9/11. Bigfoot, Andre the Giant from the SM Dollar Man scared me as a child. Andre the Giant, Bigfoot. Andre the Giant's hilarious. He's so huge. I like hearing the stories about him. They said Andre the Giant would drink like seriously, like he would drink like 120 beers in a night, sort of thing. Like that's. He'd go to a bar, he'd have like 8 bottles of wine, 50 beers, 12 different frickin' meals. The guy was just so freakishly huge. But yeah, that's then there's stories about the wrestlers where he'd like, one of the things he'd do is he'd get the wrestler down and he'd sit on them and then he'd fart on their faces and he'd laugh. See, when I was a little kid, Andre the Giant was. That's when I watched a little bit of wrestling. Anyways, where were we? Have you read any Talmud? No. Well, some. I mean, are you standing tonight? Yeah, off and on. I've been up and down. Poe is similar to Hitchcock in the understanding of mind psychology. Yeah. It's probably a good comparison. I like Poe a lot, too. I think it's great. Some of his stories are just perfect. Just perfect. Hitchcock, too, as well. I mean, Hitchcock, the vision, like the ability to use. I think that's one of the the brilliant things about film, when you can use so little to accomplish so much, sort of thing. Anyways, I'm not going to get into it, but that's an interesting parallel. RoboCop, Total Recall, and the Terminator, etc. Road Warrior, we're living in it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, though. I mean, it's almost better. Sarah Connor. RoboCop, well, there's complete crime everywhere. And you got the, RoboCop running around or walking around. The Total Recall, which is your memories, we can recall them wholesale, which is Philip K. Dick, by the way. And you're talking about some of my favorite sci-fi authors, I would definitely put Philip K. Dick in there. Hollywood loves Philip K. Dick, just like they love Stephen King. There's certain authors that they can't get enough. They love Lovecraft as well, absolutely. But yeah, that's interesting. And the Terminator, yeah, the Road Warrior. I like the Road Warrior. That's the one I would choose to probably live in, because if you had a fast car and boot around, you eat the Dinky D, the dog food in the can. Get yourself a gyrocopter, and all you need is a cute Australian babe, and you've got it made. Yeah. Soon we will be fined for thought crime. Yep. Don't give them ideas, Patricia. Now they're gonna like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. Yeah. YouTube is trying ban just like Stranger Than Fiction as well. He gets actual celebrities' emails asking how to get out of this industry. Yes, STF has been hit as well, and it's true. He does a lot of work on the celebrity stuff. He's a good friend. Hey, Jeff, here's an idea. Next time you do your show, you should title it "How to Help Your Late Cramps." Yeah, that's hilarious. No, I'll never turn up in any search, though. You know, it doesn't matter what I put. Yeah. Brian says, with music, novels, and media, it's best to go underground and look for obscure and unique content. I agree with that. That's pretty cool. But then again, there is quality in greatness. So you can't, it's like art and stuff like that. It's not always what's popular that is best, but often people, like the way that the New World Order works is the most talented people are the ones that they usually bring up. Although with music now, it's pretty much the opposite. Now most people that are popular in music can't even play music at all. And they're absolutely abominable. Madonna's an absolute perfect example of that. That women can't sing for a hill of beans sort of thing. Jeff C., I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, so much more exposition and so much more vocabulary in class. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I think you have to read classic literature to appreciate that. Go back in time and read it and realize and think of it differently than from a movie and all that. But yeah, I think that's why it's very different because of how things have changed. The medium itself has changed because it's been so influenced by movies and television and everything else, visual medium, which is unfortunate because reading a book is so much more intimate and personal, and you know, it's like you're seeing what your brain, you're reading the words and you're conjuring up your own images, which is really cool. I wish I could have like 3 hours a day just to read. I would love that. That would be awesome. Just like, here you go. You got 3 hours, but all you can do is read. Like the way you can, you know, if it's like you end up in prison, that's when you end up reading a lot. Well, I used to read like a fiend, so these days, though, I don't have the time. Although, you know, I'll try to make more time in the future for it. Jeff Censored on car, I'm not into the whole lizard crap, but sometimes I wonder if these people are really human. Yeah, I wonder all the time. I don't understand how people can be evil like to people. I don't know. Because I have empathy. I'm not a psychopath, and I care about people, and I wouldn't want to hurt people. I would feel bad hurting anyone. Like, I don't want to hurt anybody. So why do these people want to hurt us so bad, and why do they want to hurt your children so bad? Well, there's something that's not right. There's something diabolical. The only thing you can do is pull out the bone broth. Anyways, take a few more questions here. When will Gamer Jeff return? I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I wouldn't. I like and hate doing that because sometimes I hate the games. But I think I'm good at it, and I wouldn't mind. But at the same time, probably not for a little while. But maybe in the winter or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But it's not a priority, obviously. But you know, those were kind of, some of them could be a lot of fun. But the thing is that the games disturb me a lot. So it's like when I was doing that. What was that one there? There's a few of them that were really disturbing. Anyways, we'll move on from that. When the scandemic is no longer a threat, yeah. Have you ever read Demonology? No, I have not, Angel. With most things, the best-selling stuff is New World Order garbage, but with the best-selling book of all time, the Bible, it's what shows the truth of what's going on. Yeah, that's the... It's true. I think that it's changed a lot over the past 40, 50 years. That I think now that the concentration of power is so concentrated that it's not like it used to be. Like when you have all these different, say, publishing, and you have all these different, say, studios or different, media publications or whatever, and they're all competing against each other, that's much healthier than when you have just these giant entities like Disney that controls almost everything. You understand? So I'm saying that, like, that's why a lot of classic movies, like was mentioned before, like Total Recall and RoboCop and things like those are really good films, like really great films. And it's from a different era. Now, like for instance, RoboCop and those movies were made by Orion. That's a studio that went bankrupt a long time ago, sort of thing. So it gives you an example of how things have changed. You think Disney's going to go bankrupt? Right? They should have a long time ago, but the thing is that that's where the NWO takes over, because when it's like competition, like say YouTube, for instance, say there was like 50 YouTubes and they were all competing massively with each other. And like say a scandal would be like, oh, somebody got deleted for, expressing their own opinion, or somebody was deleted, for instance, because they, questioned the narrative or whatever. They went against the grain. That would be fodder for the other competitors to use and lure those people over, right? So like just the nature of competition. This is like if we're really in a fair sort of capitalistic sort of system, free enterprise capitalistic system, this would be flourishing, but we're not at all. So like YouTube is, without a doubt, it's a monopoly. There's no question it's a monopoly. There's nothing else. Nothing that even comes close. So the monopoly should not exist because they destroy competition. And when they destroy competition, they destroy creativity and freedom, and then they become totalitarian. And that's what's happened. So, yeah, that's what I think. That's why I think when you go back, you find a lot of really good stuff. Music, too, and art and all those things, is when you have lots of competition. And then it becomes like, because a thing could be a hit, right? Like a book or something, right? It could just be word of mouth. Sometimes that's how things would happen. Like even some movies and stuff like that, it would just be word of mouth that would get them to become popular and whatnot. Some movies would come out and they'd bomb in the theaters, but then they would become huge hits later. Like, I'll give you an example. The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, was an absolute bomb when it came out, or at least it came out at the same time as E.T. came out, or like a couple of weeks after. And yet it's way better film. It's like 1,000,000 times better than E.T. And then, since then, like it's done extremely well. But like, That's what I'm saying about like the difference of what the sort of structure of the whole entertainment, say the entertainment industry or even the literature industry or whatever, is that it's all been concentrated into these mega sort of corporations. And that's really bad for all of us. So that's one of the reasons why all of this is happening, is because of this extreme concentration of wealth and power and influence that has happened. And that's why people go back. And it's like, look at the quality of music. Like, it's no joke. I mean, like today, the last 15, 20 years, the level of, like, you don't really hear songs these days where you're like, oh, that's so good, that's so catchy, that's so great. But you go back to like the 90s or the 80s or the 70s or the 60s or the 50s, every song is so catchy, even if you don't like the song or whatever. It's just really melodic and whatever, right? And yeah, you know, we're all suffering massively because of this power concentration that has happened. Very anti-free enterprise capitalist sort of thing. So, but yeah, Gamer Jeff will return after all his other channels get banned. It'll be nothing else. They won't even let me play. No, there's no way they would let me play games because they took that doctor, whatever his name was, off there. Not that he's probably a shill or whatever, but he was questioning the whole scamdemic sort of thing, and then all of a sudden his stream shut down. But yeah, because if I had a gaming stream and I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't like it's to me, like, seriously, like there are some game, like I like to play a game and have fun. Like if I'm gonna play a game, I'm gonna play a game and have fun. Most of these games just you know, like they're just tedious. I wouldn't enjoy them. And then, like, what would be the point of doing them, right? Unless somehow there was like this genuine sort of interaction, this ability to get through a message while playing the mind control, then it wouldn't really be worthwhile. But it's still yeah. So check out the Call of Duty. Yeah, I've been talking about that off and on throughout tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna cover it for sure. Have you seen the movie Frailty? No, I don't think I ever have. Message from above. The most relaxing thing is to play Katamari on my PS2. I don't think I've ever played that. Joel Salatin is one of the very few people I've seen on Joe Rogan's show. Seems to be a good guy, not a shill. I don't think I know who that is. Rocket League. Yeah, I do play. I play Rocket League. It's pretty cool. Troubled Some says, I do make music. Good for you. Great job. Thanks, Jeff, for all you do for us. Big shout out again to all the people sending their thoughts and prayers for my sister. Oh, your sister? I'm sorry to hear that. I hope she's okay. All the best, Susan. Did you follow homesteading channels on YouTube? It's pretty refreshing stuff. Yeah, I do sometimes. Yeah, they're great. Honestly, that's all the good stuff on YouTube. There is a lot of good stuff on YouTube. Like I follow history channels and, you know, science and music, obviously, and all kinds of things. So there's lots of good people. It's just, unfortunately, all the people that are featured and trending are just awful, abominable freaking shills. Yeah. Kidding Servant, I don't. Oh, that's not for me. Jeff Censored, I rewatched the Terminator and it has gritty style like Mad Max. I think the first Terminator is the best by far. I also think the first Alien is the best by far. I think the original usually is always, although, you know, I'd say with the Road Warrior, probably Road Warrior is better than Mad Max, but Mad Max is a great film, especially since it's such a budget film, and I love the style, and Mel Gibson's great in it, and so is Toe Cutter. You haven't seen the original Mad Max. I'm in Tennessee from Ohio. The last time I was here in Gatlinburg, it was normal. Now it's masked out. Yep. Thanks, Mr. Jones. I like to play games to get pissed and bust out my controller. It's funny. Jeff got taken down for hockey hate speech, but YouTube left the show with a skanky 11-year-old alone. Yeah. Did you hear about coronavirus PCR test primer sequence is found in all human DNA? I did, and the DNA part is all connected without any question. So it's a huge, huge part of the whole thing. The dog in the thumbnail nose cut. Yeah. I changed the thumbnail that I had for the original because I was like, oh, maybe that's what got me, because it was a baby. Right? It was a baby that I had before. And then I was like, I was trying to think when I was booting up this show, because the original show was shut down. I was trying to think, well, what was it that they hit me for? It seemed like wow, because I'm not covering a shooting or anything like that. I don't know. Anyways, oh, I lost your comment there. I'll go back. I'm gonna try and find it. Jeff, do you own a pet? Not at the moment. Would you put a mask on it? Never. I love the original Terminator. Yeah. T1 and T2 are classics. A wolf is a predator means wolf Satan is trying to get close to you and all of us. Remember the line of Judah is Jesus and he is the lamb. Yeah. I saw Terminator in the theater when it came out. Awesome. Hockey hate speech. Yeah, that's it, eh? Abby from The Last of Us 2 is definitely a trend. Yeah, we covered that. I don't know if you saw that video. The sex scene. Did you see that? Uncool? It was insane. It was like... it's like if you're really gonna try to have a love scene, right? You wouldn't do it from behind, sort of thing. It's not the way that typically love scenes work, but that tells you a lot about how insidious this New World Order is. So it was basically... The good thing is that a lot of people freaked out about that, but I don't know if that's all part of what they expected, They probably don't care. It's probably we'll just throw this out. The controversy will just get more people to play it, more views and whatnot, but it's why put this stuff in? Well, because they're evil. That's why, right? It's they do this because... So, yeah. Did you hear about the COVID spit test? They just want your DNA, I think, more than anything. No, I didn't hear about it, though. Thanks, though. Jeff, I think you got censored from when we were roasting that black dude for covering Buffalo Springfield song. Oh, but I didn't even play any of this song. No, it was hate speech. They're legitimately I got hate speech. So it's a shutdown sort of thing. So it's not. But maybe that's what it was, right? Maybe it was that guy. I mean, it doesn't matter what color. I mean, seriously. I mean, they probably think, you're racist. It's no, I 90% of the time I'm making the same sort of comments on white people. I don't care what color, or I don't give a damn what. But that's the thing, though. Today, though, it's okay. I guess you know how it is. White people bad. Yeah, I saw when you covered Abby, I was in tears. Yeah, that was crazy. It's Oprah type censoring. You get censored, and you get censored, and everybody gets censored. Yeah, you get censored, you get it censored, everyone gets it censored. Yeah, that's it. Have you heard about the Hutterites? They're the kind of Amish with plain clothing, but have high-tech mega farms. No, not really. I think I've heard of them, but did you see the crazy mosquito video on Bill Gates' website? Yeah, I talked about it tonight. I did. What are they going to do with their DNA? Well, that's the big $64,000 question. I think they're... If you ever watch the 1970s James Bond movies, I think it's kind of like that, where it's like they are trying to determine who gets to breed in the future, who they want to have. Like, if they think your DNA represents something special, they'll give you maybe a pass, or maybe they'll collect your DNA and they'll use it because they don't need you. They don't need any of us because they can clone us with your DNA. So if you think about it like this, if you have spit into a tube and provided your DNA, they can clone you. So just think about that. They can legitimately clone you. So, and then watch the movie Us. By a big-time insider there, Jordan Peele. And sleep well. I don't know. I know they'll probably the process of cloning people is very expensive, and it's unlikely they're going to clone all of us and then have the clones kill us off and stuff like that. But don't forget about the clones, because there is something to it, and they show a lot of that, and I've showed some of it tonight, so I don't know where it all goes. It's pretty diabolical, though. Yeah, other people are saying that everyone hates hockey. Speak for yourself. Jeff ain't hate. J-A-H. Yeah. Dude, why would YouTube care about censoring Jeff C so much when hardly anyone of the population watches? Yeah, that's it. I'm over the target. I think it's more like, well, I mean, it is what it is. It's always been like that. I've always been censored. I mean, I was getting censored in 2012. I think like my 4th or 5th video got censored, right? Like it hasn't changed. It's just much worse in the sense that, you know, you have to be careful what you say and all those things, but the censorship's always there. And they take down videos every day, basically, right? Like, I lose so many videos. It's just, typically I don't get strikes for them, but tonight it's different, right? So, yeah, they censor many YouTube channels. Anyone who is speaking the truth, I mean, hate speech. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Jeff, would be the first thing on your agenda if they made you president of the world tomorrow? Yeah, I guess I would say I would destroy hate speech, and I would make free speech. Like, that's how I would start. I would say, there's no such thing as hate speech, and free speech is the most, because like that's where it all starts, right? Giving people freedom, the right to speak whatever you want. And yeah, I would start with that, and then I would destroy the corporate media. I would ban the corporate media forever, and I would arrest everybody, or at least everybody at the top. And yeah, I'd start with those things, you know, and you know, work your way through. But yeah, it's not going to happen anyway. So Alan says, I got arrested 13, 14 years ago in South Carolina, and I got a DNA sample. You should have refused. I don't know. Maybe you just didn't know, right? You're a kid, right? Look up Bovic genomic technology. Yeah. Yeah, Lorraine watched the Omen, the second one. That's a great. The whole trilogy is great. Although it's pretty creepy too. There's Onyxia. How you doing? The clones would share our personalities, right? So if they clone us, no, not necessarily. No, in fact, not. That's the whole thing. Because they wouldn't have your personality, because they'd have none of your experiences, and your whole personality is based on your experiences, right? So if they clone you, say, as an adult form, and they bring out the clone would have all your DNA and would physically be identical to you, but upstairs it would be nothing like you. Unless they were to download somehow all of your consciousness into it, right? So no, technically your clone could be nothing like you, or it could be programmed to be completely something different. It could be a cyborg type clone where it's like a brain chip clone. So they could technically start replacing people if they find that, say, people are troublesome, and it's like, okay, we'll grow a clone and then we'll have the clone go out and replace this person. And then this clone will have a brain chip, like an Elon Musk brain chip, and it'll just be a servant, right? They could do stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's so sci-fi, but it's here. It's like they've been able to clone for 20, 30 years, maybe even longer. I mean, they speculated that the Germans had the cloning technology way back when. That's why they wrote books like Boys of Brazil and stuff like that, right? Although that's... right, but the Germans did experiment with cloning, for sure. What are your thoughts on the Police band? They're probably my favorite band of all time. Every sing they make brings a smile to my face. I love the Police. They're a great band. The interesting thing, though, about the Police is some of their songs are pretty disturbing right now. There's a lot of them. They're like, ooh, how does that work? You know, do they have a time machine? But Every Breath You Take, for instance, and songs like that are pretty. And the name The Police. Also, apparently Stuart Copeland's father was in the CIA or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So there's some interesting things about the Police. But yeah, they are a great band for sure. A lot of great songs. I like the Police a lot, so for sure, yeah. I gotta think of the songs now because there's a whole bunch of them. Like, whoa. Did you hear about the 5-year-old white boy shot to death by a black man? No, you're never gonna hear about that. What? That didn't happen. I guess, you know, and I wonder if that's true at all too. That's probably just thrown out there for the MAGA people, you know, like, look, you know, they do this stuff endlessly. Like, how many of these actual shootings and stuff are real? It's weird. I saw the Adam Hayner, whatever the guy was, and he had like the weirdest frickin' it looked kind of silly. His black eyes were like perfectly mirrored, sort of thing. But I mean, it was pretty clear that he got whacked in the head really hard. So, there are some creepy similarities between identical twins, though, even when not raised together. Yeah, there is. There's a lot of crazy stuff. You should watch the film Dead Ringers there by Cronenberg. It's pretty crazy. How much do you think the fine will be for refusing the vaccine? I don't know. It could be a lot. It could be they're probably gonna say a lot, because then the 5,000 or something like that, something that'll just freak people out. People say, forget it, I'm getting the frickin' stupid thing. Has anybody watched the Family Guy episode? See the Family Guy episode where the Stewie clone Brian and send himself? Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that. Mitch. Roxanne. You don't have to put on the red light. I like Gary Newman, even though he's a total flamer. Yeah, Invisible Sun. Now people are talking to the Police now. There has to be an invisible sun. The guy who ran Hart for 21 years said that they are cloning us. He said the Jesuits are in full charge. It's for sure. It's all the Jesuits. I dated an identical twin. Her sister felt everything I did. Everything? Oh, that would be awesome, actually. I don't know. 2 for 1. In the film Dead Ringers, the Cronenberg film, it's 2 gynecologists. Or I don't know if it's 2 gynecologists. Jeremy Irons plays them both. And they start banging the same girl. And then she can't tell which one is which, sort of thing. It's really creepy. Let's see here. When will you do another show with guests? Coming up in about 10 days or so. I don't know, a week and a half or so. Yeah, I'll be doing a Patreon show once a month. So anyways, I think I'm going to close her up here. Been going for 3 hours here. I don't know how long I went on my main channel, which is probably going to be terminated. Anyways, that's what I enjoy the most, is this part where I get to talk with all of you. And I just want to thank you all so much for spending the evening with me. I hope you enjoyed the show. And yeah, maybe you can help me get the word out if you can, that I can't use my main channel for the next 2 weeks. I won't be able to leave any messages or anything. So a lot of people are going to be wondering, where the hell's Jeff C? You know. What are you going to do? He's in purgatory. Yeah, Susan purgatory. So, you know, I'll continue to do. I put up Jeff Censor Encore, but I probably should have gotten Supreme Lord Commander, because I got, I don't know, 5 or 10,000 more subs on that channel. But I just came here, you know, because it was the first sort of thought. I'll just go on there. But yeah, make sure you're subbed to Supreme Lord Commander, because that'll probably be the main channel now going forward for a little while. And yeah, I'll be doing some stuff over the weekend, not a lot, but some, you know, maybe some shorter vids and stuff. I am working on a bunch of things, so yeah, it should be a lot of stuff coming, obviously. So if you do like the show and you want to help me out, you want to support the show and maybe get a bunch of extra things, because if you sign up for the Patreon, it's pretty cool. You know, we have you know, we have the live shows that we're going to do once a month, and you know, you can message me directly, and it's really great. There's a community tab and everything there, so that's a great way to just help me keep doing the show. And if I do get booted off YouTube, knocking on wood sort of thing, but if I do, I'll be there, and you'll still be able to catch everything. And you know, whether I end up on D Live or wherever, that's probably where I'm going to go, because everybody's going over there. So I'll probably start doing shows there. I'll try to reach out to Dabu or whoever and see if they can maybe help me out a bit. But yeah, we're going to keep on keeping on. Do the best that we can in this new world order. So yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys all on the next one. Take it easy, folks.